Just getting retail sales data here for the month of March let's try May. How about that? Month over month basis, 0.1% to the upside versus a 0.2% forecast number there. So a little bit downside. Retail sales, if you take out autos, negative 0.1% versus 0.2 expected. Retail sales year over year yet to populate here, but 2.8 expected there on the overall number for retail sales. Coming up at 9:15, some industrial production numbers. We'll get manufacturing data a little bit later on, then around 10 o'clock. We'll also get barking coming out at 10 o'clock. There's a ton of Fed speakers today. Collins, Kugler, and Logan. I don't know if I've heard from Kugler yet, but nope. Anyways, we'll have a look at some comments possibly this afternoon around 1 o'clock in terms of what else is moving around here. The market to the upside here coming off that retail sales number, 0.25% for the NASDAQ now. We're back to positive territory for the S&P as well. Yeah, there's Tesla. Huge day yesterday, back higher to 187, 188. We're kind of chopping around where it ended the day right now. Guess what? More strength in semiconductor land, including Nvidia back to the upside. I mean, Micron back to the upside today. It just doesn't stop. I mean, the Mag 7 in general back to the upside today. Tech is where to be right now.
It's insane, Brendo. And I was talking to Obi off camera. I was telling him, you know, I really felt that the chips and the Mag 7 were really helping carry the markets here because you're not seeing too much breadth in other areas. Major shakeup, guys, coming to the XLK. Apple being demoted, Nvidia being promoted. So Apple's going to go down to about 4% there or around there in that ETF, and Nvidia is going to jump up to 20%, Brendo. So more tailwinds for the name. Yeah,
big rebalance coming this Friday for the market overall. We do have. I was watching. Somebody posted yesterday. It was like a real-time market cap of the top three, and they were just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, depending on the price. So, I mean, they're very, very close still. There's the Qs right now. A bit of a reversal. We did get through that high, pre-market high in yesterday's high, but back down right now, 0.2%. Yeah, Neil with the day off today. It's a holiday tomorrow. I woke up this morning and thought, hey, tomorrow's off. Yeah, that's not bad.
Midday.
So holiday tomorrow. Neil off today as well. So Obi in. Good morning, guys.
Oh, it's not a day off.
Good morning. No days off.
It's not a day off. The guy blew out his knee playing soccer with his daughter. Yeah. So you're in, Obi, but glad to be in here. Nah, he didn't blow his knee out. He hurt his leg. We'll see what happens here. He did take a day off. Unfortunately, he was rolling around there playing some soccer, and I guess must have twisted his leg. So he's going to put some ice on it, take it easy. And then tomorrow we have the day off, and then we'll be back hopefully in the saddle on Thursday. But we do appreciate Obi coming through here. I think this is the first time maybe I've been with you since graduation.
Yes.
Yes, well, good. Congratulations again for that. I wanted to ask you, has anything changed in the way you're trading, or not really?
Nothing really. No, not really. I guess I did get
Why
a bit of a.
Why are we doing this look?
I got a bit of a risk bump, which is which is nice. So a little bit more breathing room for the shenanigans. But yeah, no, it's good. It's not too bad. The playbook's still the same.
Right.
The
good.
trades
That's
are the
what I was
trades.
gonna say. Right. Exactly.
Nothing's changed in that sense. I do have to kind of. I did take about a week to kind of adapt to the higher risk, but yeah, no, it's.
So just so people, we trade on a prop floor. So what happens is that we trade firm capital. So we are responsible for every trade that we make, and the more, I guess, the longer you've been here, you know, the numbers that you put up, your risk is associated with that. So with Obi graduating 2-3 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago gets so he hit a threshold, so now he gets another risk bump, as he said. So, and I think that we always get questions about that. That's why I sort of wanted to start with this, is because a lot of traders always wonder, how do they get out of the sim, or how do they, you know, sort of level up and things like that. And I think trading on a prop floor gives you that ability to work through starting basically from nothing and then working their way up and then sort of trying to ladder it up. And yeah, I just wanted to say that was the one thing that I think you need to keep doing, is just add, you know, 25% more shares to your position or something like that, so that, you know, as your strategies that have got you here can get you even further, because you'll have more risk. And I think that's the one thing that a lot of us try to do. I do see there in the chat, yeah, you know, Father Time is undefeated when it goes to that kind of stuff. Like, I was saying, I'm surprised that I can still pitch all this stuff at the kids all the time. It's like last night, it was 40 degrees. It was 100 degrees Fahrenheit last night. And we're out there practicing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like sweating. Like the kids are running around everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of fun. And we have rain here today.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
I didn't know it was gonna switch up like that. Apparently, it's gonna be here for a couple of days.
The rain?
Yeah. Because when I checked the
thought
forecast
really
over the weekend, it was like, oh, sunny, maybe
right, me too.
partial.
Yeah, because you guys are supposed to be going golfing tomorrow, or
yeah,
maybe.
Some of the guys are going golfing tomorrow. Yeah.
No, I was trying to go golfing too, and then I woke up today. Did you hear the thunder this morning?
I did not.
Oh my God.
I was probably sleeping around that time.
Yeah,
but,
normally I don't. It was like between
raining.
5:36. All of a sudden, I'm lying in bed and bang! I'm like, oh my God! I never normally wake up, but it was pretty loud. Here in the GTA.
I'm pretty heavy sleeper though. But when I did step outside, I was like, oh, it must be raining because everything was wet.
Right.
I was like,
yeah. Or
must have rained this
sprinkler
morning
on or something there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back over and see what the guys are up to.
Okay, here is that number we were talking about. Here's the year-over-year number. Just to recap, if anyone's joining a little late here, we got retail sales data from May there at 8:30. So 2.3% was the overall number versus 2.8%. So bit of a reversal coming back in here for the overall market. Now downside after we took out the highs there. So nice reversal candle on a 15-minute chart. 0.1% for the month over month versus 0.2. If you take out gas and autos, 0.1% versus a flat reading. So gas price is still a bit of a sticking point there. More data to come, 9:15, and then 10 o'clock. We'll get a ton of Fed speakers today. I was just sitting here thinking, though, I feel like we're at a point where, like, does it even matter anymore? Honestly, like everyone knows what's coming eventually.
Yeah.
You and I were talking about the housing market in this city specifically, or the greater Toronto area. All-time high of inventories last month in the condo market specifically, and it's a direct sign that there's zero incentive right now for anyone to purchase a new home. Everyone knows interest rate cuts are coming, so they're just waiting.
Absolutely, and there's a huge push for supply, Brendo, right? We underbuilt for almost 10, 15 years in this country after the housing issues down south in 2006 to 2010, and that precipitated us to kind of follow suit here, and that was a big problem because this country is based on immigration, and there's really nowhere for an entire generation to live, and that's obviously going to stagnate prices as more supply comes online. Not much different down south, especially in the major metropolitan areas like the New Yorks, the Los Angeles, and the other areas. They're also having issues with housing too, Brent.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it's going to take a little while, I think. I was watching a podcast last night, and the overall theme of it was, does it even matter about a quarter point at this point? The answer is no. Like a quarter point's not going to change everything immediately, but it's the shift in sentiment and the shift in direction of interest rates and inflation overall. So yeah, market back to negative here, the S&P anyways, but NASDAQ holding on to positive territory. Fisker finally makes it official, filing for bankruptcy. It was a long time coming, but they had to at some point.
Yeah, and here I'm not going to belabor, obviously, all the different reasons why this company is in bankruptcy, but here are the four main ones. Cash depletion. Fisker struggled to maintain sufficient cash reserves. Fundraising challenges. They were supposed to secure investment. One time we heard that Nissan was going to actually throw money into this. That ended up falling through. Production issues. Their global supply chain disruptions really had an effect of hampering production and regulatory scrutiny. They were under investigation by U.S. regulators for the safety of the ocean, Breno. So not a good look.
Yeah, it's too bad. There was an opportunity there, I think, to fit into a part of the market. There's Fisker in the pre-market over on the OTC right now. 3 cents. Sean, what do we do?
We just buy more. Because
Buy the dip?
Yeah, that's what we have to do. We always talk about it, especially on, certain podcasts, Freedom and Wealth podcasts, stuff like that. You want a dollar cost average into great companies. Yeah, I don't know. We can check the chart out. There's not much to really look at here. It's down 40%. But the thing is it's not, like that's just the last tick. Like 2 ticks ago was 3.5 cents. Like I don't know where this thing's going to go. We can't trade it here. Obviously, it came down to the OTC markets, and we could talk to Jeff Mendel about this, what it exactly means when they declare a bankruptcy. But we hadn't done anything on this symbol, right? So here's what it looks like since it's whoopsies. Here's what it looks like since it's been down. And I guess you got a little bump there when there was some wording on Nissan maybe coming in and trying to pick up some of their technology, but yeah, it looks like it'll be out of here. I'm not, just because I guess once you declare bankruptcy, then no one can come in there and save you. So I guess they'll be selling off some of the pieces. I don't know, equipment, things like that. Go. But I would say the equity obviously is going to be worth nothing at some point. So I don't really have it. I think I put $300 in. We talked about that on the show. So it sucks to lose it, but maybe I can get $50 back if I don't have to pay any fees or something like that. But yesterday, we saw Tesla yesterday moving around. Rivian still seems to want to hold this $10 mark. And honestly, and it's not, I didn't invest in Fisker. That was just like a shot. I do have some money in Rivian down here, and I was just thinking that this $10 mark would be something that would have to hold. I wanted to look to see when all these guys report again, because Danielle kind of shocked me yesterday by saying that we were 3.5 weeks away from Tesla reporting. I was like, what? We're back into earnings again? Okay, this is more like an August 6th. So not much to worry about there with Rivian as far as earnings are concerned. But if a lot of these companies can't get, together, it is going to be a problem. And then yesterday, you had Tesla. I think there was rumors of the long range Model 3, was it, I guess, or something was starting to get a $7,500, possibly qualifying for a rebate. And Tesla yesterday was real hot fire. I mean, a lot of these stocks, the EV names, I mean, General Motors is performing really well on the hybrid note, and Mary Barra has done a great job with that company. And then they have a huge buyback under them as well, GM. But for right now, Tesla seems to be the one that really got everyone's attention yesterday. And you know what, Obi? See this area yesterday? We wrote down, I have the sticky note right here, Tesla 180 to 181 on yesterday's sticky note for short. And as you can see, the level was perfectly right. The 180 to 181, but the direction, although we were able to get out of the short before eventually losing a couple matcha lattes to the upside there, but it really bounced around those levels. So right now, I'm kind of thinking the same thing here, is that if I do the same similar work and figure that there's going to be a level to buy a car company today, I think Tesla down here, 184, 185, looks like a pretty good long to me, especially if the market wants to keep going. Tesla down so far, market flat. I feel like there's a reason to buy this name up if it gets down into 184. What did you trade any EV or any names like this lately?
No, I don't. I think I might have dabbled in Tesla sometime last week, but yesterday I got to pay attention to my charts a little bit more there. Tesla, the crazy strength that we did have was literally off of prior day's low and a little bit of confluence with I think this is earnings VWAP from prior earnings. Like if I just scroll back right here, it's anchored to the prior earnings that happened on April 23rd there, but it just kind of steps up and gets that crazy strength. So Fisker's down in the dumps with a bankruptcy report, but there's definitely other EVs that are kind of taking that I guess market share and that strength and that interest from the people. Tesla being again one of the top names there. So yesterday was quite intense there. I was watching. I was like, how much further can it go? Famous last words, right? But I was just like, okay, well, I'm looking for a potential reversion on this. Never really came in. No reason to really trade it. But 189, just underneath 189 are the highs right now. So let's see if we can get a bit of a continuation there on Tesla today.
It's the, we're going to talk about Lazy Boy. I just brought up Lazy Boy. It's not doing a heck of a lot, pre-market here this morning as far as volume is concerned. The move was after the close yesterday, but better than expected report for the furniture maker. Speaking of retail sales coming out this morning, 11.25% on the month so far, 9.4 here in the pre-market. This is a big move, $3 and change right now for Lazy Boy.
And this is good for a lot of these companies, Brendo, because a lot of people did their upgrading during the pandemic. So like PCs, there's got an upgrade cycle for furniture as well. So good look for them to actually increase their revenue. $475 million is what they made in revenue on the quarter. They're holding about $158 million in cash, which is not a bad look. So we'll have to see how they do on the day.
They have recently started to change this, but the one complaint I do have about Lazy Boy is that if you live in a condo, all of their stuff is huge. Yeah. It's super comfortable, but all of their stuff is huge and not really condo size. But anyway.
Yeah, Lazy Boy with a bit of a pop off of earnings, right? I don't know. I did kind of look this name up last night. I was like, all right, what's gonna have day one earnings? And Lazy Boy definitely was on the list amongst very few others. As you know, we're kind of dwindling down in terms of earnings season. But something to note there is it did kind of gap up towards these prior month highs there. So a little bit of a shelf happening on the daily chart just underneath that 38 mark. So if we go down to today's chart right here, 38 right there. So it clips it in the pre-market, just where that resistance has been since for a long time, right? So like we go back to the daily chart there. So since about even before 2024, so around December is when we started experiencing some of that resistance there. So normally doesn't do very much volume. The 30-day average is 360K. It's done about a 1 mil as of yesterday. Yeah, let's see what it does today there, Sean. You got any words on that?
I was just going to say there's a 6% short flow, which could be significant. You know, that could be why you're getting some of that spike right there. So 6% on the short float. And then I also want to note the change since January. So it's still down. I mean, I don't know if it's including in today or not. Well, we can just look at the chart right now. But, you know, year to date right here on Lazy Boy. Whoa, there's a nice little move up. I don't know why the chart is doing that. But we'll figure that out anyways. Uh-oh, now I can't move it. Oh, no. Stuck on the screen. All right. Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, sometimes the market up double digits this year. A lot of these names are going to play catch up a little bit. And sometimes you have a couple bad quarters in a row. Now Lazy Boy trying to perform a little bit better here today. We'll see if it can get back up to the upside now with a nice move this morning. So Lazy Boy trying to push through $38. That's been the high. Looks like it can break it out on the daily. And I apologize. My screen is now frozen.
Crazy. Firm, trying to get back to the upside here, just popped back above 30.85, which is that closing level from yesterday. We had that big move on the Apple headline mid-afternoon yesterday on heavy volume. Wasn't much follow through. I mean, let's be honest, there was no follow through into the close yesterday for a Firm, but it did pop up again here pre-market.
Yeah, and like the other side of that is that Apple is discontinuing its buy now, pay later in favor of third-party loan integration. And we know one of those integrators is going to definitely be a Firm. That was announced during WWDC. So Apple had this program where you could basically pay for something over 4 payments. It was interest-free. It wasn't really jiving with the current interest environment because obviously they were taking a hit on that from the loan perspective. So we'll have to wait and see how this all pans out. But you got to assume Apple leaves a sector. It opens it up for so many others, Brendo.
Yeah, Apple itself positive on the morning, as we were saying, this rally in the overall market just being run by these. 0.5% right here, right now, guys, for Apple.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday's Apple trade was, I mean, an absolute banger, Obi. We were long down here at 213. Nice, yeah. And yeah, we basically, I think we had 212.79 or something like that. Like we had basically the bottom. I don't know how we were able to get that, but, and it was because we had based out and we didn't get in until 950. So I guess we used that bottom right off the open as the bottom. And then just trusted our read on the stock that it was going to be another tailwind kind of day. So the thing about this today is I don't really care about that reweighting in the XLK. Obviously, it means nothing right now. The story is out. Look what Apple's up, right? Up 0.45. And then the reweighting in Nvidia is supposed to be happening as well, right? So that should be a tailwind. It's actually up less than Apple, but they're pretty much the same. So this little dump there at the end of the day, you know, we had some of the short back on. Remember, we were trading the TQQs and then it broke the level. So this is the thing. And then we shorted Nvidia at the end of the day, which also fell back down. So you have to take in consideration, these stocks aren't actually up today I mean, sure they are because of that move down, but that move down really here, I mean, if you kind of go where we are, it was in the last 10 minutes when those imbalances came out. We talked about it being the Russell and all that kind of stuff happening, big rebalances coming at the end of June. So you're gonna get random moves there at the end of the day. So with that being said, we were talking about you yesterday because your name was there. We were like, oh my God, Obi's shorting Apple. And it turned out that it was right into this area, which turned out to be triple, quadruple tops yesterday. So I don't think it's worth fighting this again. I don't have it on the sticky note today. If I did, I probably would have a short in around 218.50, 219. It's just, I'm looking for another catalyst. I think the catalyst is the market, right? Yes. I mean, if the market wants to float around again today, then I would think that you would let this float higher and short it. Or you could just look at it the other way around as well. Flip the chart upside down and say, maybe the long is back into here at 216 and change. So I'd rather play the long. I don't know which one's gonna come in. I think if it comes up to here, you're pretty safe shorting this against 219, even against the all-time high of 220.20. I mean, to go short at 219 and give this thing $1, I think that's reasonable. And I also think it's reasonable to go long here at 216 or so and give it to yesterday's bottom of 215 quarters. So these levels all make sense to me. I like a lot of them. And let's just see what the market gives us today for Apple. I feel like there's something for everybody, and we're gonna be starting right in the middle. So you were shorting Apple yesterday. Was there a reason why? Or, it's, hey, I mean revert every day. I'm caught here in the afternoon, Obi, especially because it was in the afternoon. I'm always saying, wow, this stock's up 3 or 4%. It seems like it's banging its head against the wall here, and I think it's going lower. And sometimes that's wrong. So you were right on that one, actually.
I like to trade the mean reversions, but sometimes the reversions can be a little mean, and that's what happened yesterday with me. I like the short, so I shorted here, I shorted in and around here, and then I shorted again here. I kept a relatively tight stop, and then I shorted some more here, and then I shorted again here. And I was like, well, this thing is clearly, I was trying to push my bias onto the ticker, and then I stopped shorting it, Sean, and then eventually, literally like 30 minutes after I stopped shorting it, you get the move right back down to 215s. I was just like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, I like these prices. This action looks like it's kind of nice, but then obviously I was very wrong in that. I have to accept that the market tailwind was absolutely strong, right? So that's something I got to do better with, kind of get with the trend when the trend is trending. That 218 flush, that was quite nice. Over a 2-hour consolidation right there, and then it breaks that. I definitely have to do better at getting involved with that, as the trend did bend, and it was no longer the friend of the longs there. But yeah, we're going to be watching some of these levels here. I already have my alert in and around some of these pre-market levels here. But yeah, strong little flush. Let's see what we do with that 215 half if we get there. Let's see what we do with that 218, 219 if we get there as well, with the 220.20 all-time high as of last week. Again, it seems like that it was a bit of a continuation there. We broke out of a long-term kind of a channel there. Leg up, consolidation, leg up for 2 days, consolidation for 2 days, and it seems like yesterday we might have started the second leg. I have no idea, but we'll see what Apple has for us today. But yeah, that pay later, buy now, pay later
pay never
thing. That was interesting. I think Affirm, like we were just talking about this, Affirm also got a bit of a pop on that. So I don't know what we have in store for Affirm today. A bit of a double top with a pre-market action and yesterday's high at 31.74 as of right now.
I appreciate all the analysis, but I have one more important question to ask you.
Yes, sir.
What's the situation with your coffee? You need another one, or?
I am good with this one.
You're good with it?
Thank you.
Okay, whenever we are ready, is that Mr. Fabian on the ones and twos over there? Welcome back, my guy. Are we ready for Adara? Then let's go.
Speaking of Apple, it's actually on the top of the upgrades list here today, getting this price target increase from 225 to 245 by JP Morgan. JP Morgan citing excitement over its AI or Apple Intelligence announcements at WWDC as a reason for this price target increase. So great look. Micron also, this one's had a slew of price target increases yesterday. Today we have this price target increase from Wedbush to 170. Stifel increasing its price target to 165 this morning. And we also had B of A add Micron to its US 1 list of top buy rated stocks. So MU definitely continuing up here. Great look. Kroger getting this upgrade from BMO Capital Markets, and we have Juniper Networks getting an upgrade as well, trading slightly higher after this upgrade from Argus. On the downgrade side, First Solar getting pretty strong lately, but getting this downgrade here from Loop Capital with a $238 price target. Aerovate getting downgraded here by TD Cowen, gapping down a bit here. We also have Equitable Holdings getting downgrade from UBS, and Autoliv getting downgraded by Exane, BNP Paribas. Big tech still dominating the upgrade side here, guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a couple of different names. I actually have Coinbase going to be on the sticky note. It's got to get this out in a couple seconds. So, yeah, First Solar, this was sort of the belle of the ball for a while. I mean, we talk about the ETF TAN, the solar ETF. We talk about Solar Edge. We talk as SEDG. This was a name that was removed from the S&P 500. And you're going to see, disasters. Obi, look at this name, man. I mean, this was 300, 400, 500, who knows where that, now you're down to $30. Like Solar Edge just back in January, February, let's go to January, $98 down to $38, right? So they don't look the same. And then you're gonna look at Enphase as well coming through. I mean, this has actually bounced. I believe the bottom was 80 or so on Enphase, maybe 95 only, okay, my bad. Or maybe even before that. Dave had a nice story battling back there, it is 72. So again, disaster here again with Solar Edge and some of the removals. And then again, when you get that interest rate issue, these are expensive, right? And residential aren't being able to refinance or do anything right now and pull money out of their housing with the current rates where they are. So it's really affected some of these names and been able to put new technology onto your house, or even businesses don't have the capital anymore to borrow at zero and then put up some solar panels. A lot of these companies, from what I've read, are underwater on their financing deals because they were giving good deals to customers with zero rates or lower rates, and now they themselves have to look into their internal financing because now they can't afford some of the payments that they have to cover with the interest depreciation and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with First Solar. I don't know enough about that downgrade, but look at the level we're coming up to. It's basically filling that gap all the way back into 250. The next little gapped area would be back in here into 220, which is the 50-period moving average. I feel like all good names, you want to buy them at the 50-period moving average. If you know anything about solar, which I clearly don't know as much as whoever would be investing in this, I would think this would be a good level. 50-period moving average, this is the number one name in the space. So First Solar for me is a buy, but it has to get down to 220. Be interested to read more about that upgrade and downgrade.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some beautiful trends there on those tickers there. But again, another one from the list was Micron with the upgrade, and yeah, this one's been kind of trending, definitely on my watch list today as well, and I think it's on the rundown as well. But yeah, pushing to all-time highs if I remember correctly on this trend here. So we did hold. I have a bit of an anchored. You guys know I like to use that anchored VWAP as well. Off of that earnings kind of volume, we did kind of wash it a little bit and then reclaim and held for that push through 150. So going to be on watch on the day, and then with a bit of upgrade, let's see if we get some more oomph to the upside there as we broke past that 150 and continue to hold. And another name on the upgrade list was Kroger. So something interesting I want to know. Yesterday, looking kind of similar to Best Buy. Not related to the company, but in terms of kind of the chart there, we did gap up on an upgrade and then holding above some prior highs there. So let's see if we get a bit of continuation, maybe a pullback down into some of these resistance levels that were there, turning into support, and then we can kind of do a bit of a continuation. So what I want to refer to is Best Buy from yesterday. Did get that, so look at that. So kind of similar there. Gaps up, pulls back into some of these resistances from before, and then catches a bit and continues towards highs. So let's see if we can get a little bit more on that, more of the same on Kroger here. The chart is a little bit different. There are still more resistances above overhead and kind of different from that Best Buy, so there might be some nuance involved in there. But yeah, I'll be watching this 52, 51.5 mark on Kroger to see if that if a similar kind of sentiment is achieved, but doing Arval in the pre-market nonetheless.
So it's just 9 o'clock now. I'll want to address this because I want to give a big shout out and thank you so much there for Donnie Zimbabwe. All right, so here we go. Hey, Sean Neal, Obi. I still have some of my Wednesday calls on the Qs. What are your thoughts on Mag 7 movement overall? I mean, I think the Mag 7 movement overall has been dropping some of this, and in your pocket too, Donnie Zimbabwe. So thank you for the $10. But what do I think? Here, hold on a second. I can actually, boom. And then I will say, thanks. All right. So let's move that over. Thank you, Donnie. Okay, so if I'm just going to look at the Qs, I mean, that's what you're asking about. What else can we really say about this? I actually did that Nvidia. I think you super chatted about Nvidia yesterday, potentially, and I said, watch out for that 31 level. It bounced exactly pretty much off that 31 level and back up to the upside. The NASDAQ doesn't really, I think we're a little, I don't want to say overbought, but again, this is the 50-period moving average, okay? Right here. This is what this pink line is. You have that extension. I need to get that extension calculator, whatever it is. Actually, I thought maybe we had one here. What? But if you go up to here, does it show what it is? Yeah, so it doesn't do a very good job. 0.11 away. And then I think that if this will work again, and you just go back to, like the last sort of extension, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so what I was getting at though, you're well away from the 50-period moving average. There could be some divergence to come back a little bit where there is a little bit of profit taking. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be its 7th or so straight up day. And coming from that, one of the biggest candles, and then a little small pullback, and then extension back through. I'm not worried about any of these stocks. I don't think that you need to worry. It's being lifted when you're talking about the Qs. You're being lifted by Apple. That looks strong to me. Nvidia's not going down anytime soon. It doesn't seem like it. Anytime it does, it gets bought right back up. The other big name, of course, that you're going to be worried about would be Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft is at all-time highs. They had one of the best quarters that they could possibly ever put out. They're up again. Look at Microsoft's chart. Boom, 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 boom. Like, for me, I don't trade with options, and if that's what you're doing, Donnie, then you would know how much your calls have exploded, and you should be able to judge what the reasonable return is on your time frame for that. I think you're probably extended right now. So my advice to anybody that has a nice win, and we talked about this on the show yesterday, is you should always take something off to pay yourself. So buy yourself something nice. You know what I mean? Get some money off, and then if you really like this extension move, I would say still hold it. But I don't know the time frame. So for me right now, if you're in calls in the last couple weeks, you couldn't have asked for anything better than this. So when you get something better than you could have asked for, I think it's worth taking a little bit off the table. So that's my 2 cents there. I wouldn't go short, but I also would think that it's time to cash out a little bit. I'm trying to hold everything in my long-term account.
Oh yeah.
But I am thinking about Apple up here because we did go long at 169. The fact that it's up at 217 now on, again, a very extended move that we don't normally see from Apple. Now trading, what's Apple trading at, 30 times? That's a lot. That's a lot for them historically. So we could see if there is a pullback coming. But at the end of the day, you've heard way too much from me and not enough from these guys. So let's go back to the desk.
Anyway, real quick, before we get into the rundown here this morning, Uncle Warren in there buying up Occidental yesterday, once again, to the tune of 3 million shares, 2.95 million shares. He buys this 55, 56 level every time it comes into play. So gapping up here a little bit this morning for Oxy, once again. He's now up to 29% of the company.
Huge. And apparently, according to me, has no intentions of holding the company fully. A third should suffice for him. All right, so as Brendo mentioned, acquiring a 3 million shares. The transactions were made over 3 days, starting on Thursday, costing him about $176 million. He also has an additional 83.5 million warrants to pick up, or he has warrants, to pick up an additional 83.5 million shares at a price set well below the current market value. So, He said he doesn't want to buy the company, but he certainly has a lot of interest in it.
Yeah, oil itself not really doing anything this morning, kind of flat to start things off. All right, we'll get into everything else we need to know here this morning on a Tuesday, starting with the market.
55.46, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday. Recall, we are on the new contract. We are on the September contract now, and we closed out at 55.46, basically almost at all-time highs on this contract. 55.54 is that level that is resistance. So to the downside, let's say if we continue down, we may hold up at that 55 and a quarter, 55.25 to the high side. Let's see if we can break above the overnight high.
All right, as always, if you haven't done so yet, go to the website, tradertv.live. If you're new, we have a absolutely free resource for you, has everything you need to know in the pre-market. Every single day, sent right to your inbox. You just need an email to get that, nothing more. Let's talk about Nvidia here to start things off. Yeah, the market cap race continuing. 3.2 trillion, I was saying earlier, if you're with us when we started, I was watching, somebody posted this like cool animation of the top 3 market cap, Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia. They were just flipping back and forth as price was moving. I mean, they're really, really close right now. They're all around that 3.2 trillion mark. But I mean, there's nothing really new as far as Nvidia today, but this rally continuing.
Yeah, just this XLK shake up here, Brendo. So essentially what we're going to do is Nvidia is going to jump from around 6% of the weighting of this ETF, the XLK, and it's going to go to around 21% Apple. Conversely, is going to jump or move down from 22 to around 4.1. That's regardless of how they perform from now on to the end of the month, which is basically the window that they're giving it. And so look for some volatility in both names.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of the group plays out here. Already 7.5 million shares here, guys, this morning for Nvidia.
All right, so I'm just in the process of getting the sticky note out, but we do have Nvidia as being pretty much the #1 trade today again. You know, we nailed this yesterday. We were able to buy this dip here that came in, then we were able to go short. It was a positive stock, but it was only nailed at the beginning back up, and then it hit VWAP, and then it came all the way back down, and then we started to short a little bit there before it broke back above, and then it didn't do anything in the afternoon until we got this major sell-off. And again, this is what I wanted to bring to everybody. Nvidia's up 0.17, but I'm not sure it actually, you know, like that was a huge move down. So it's just showing you it was really trading up here, 132, 132.50. Now I've written down 132.50 long up here, but I mean, this market, it's not doing itself any favors. I mean, I feel like we still got to get above, and we can sort of look to see where we were yesterday on this, because this is just a 1-minute chart, goes into the afternoon. But I almost feel like there could be a little bit of a wall here up at 132.50. You know, when I was feeling a little bit better about the market this morning, and I came in, I just thought, okay, you know, these names are up, and we wanted to go long. But then I sort of dug into it a little bit more, and I realized that it was a lot of these names are up because they're just rebounding a little bit from this dramatic sell-off there. But Nvidia was the coffee machine was only able to make 1 coffee, or what? Are you drinking my coffee, or is that your coffee? How's it going? You had yesterday off, or what? Man, everybody, did you hear? I said Neil blew out his knee, but it was his Achilles, he thinks. So he's unable to walk around I don't think he blew it out, but so yeah. Yeah, he was running around playing soccer yesterday with his daughter. I told this guy not to do stuff like that, you know. And yeah, he got hurt. So we have Obi in the building. But I asked Obi if he wanted a coffee. He was pass. But are you still a pass?
Yeah, I still got a little bit
Fisker,
left.
by the way, declared bankruptcy today. So I think we sort of thought that was something that was there. Down 30, 40%. I guess they're not coming back. There was supposed to be a deal possibly with Nissan or something. No, but Ned, so that's the idea, was nothing now on that. So, yeah. I would love a coffee, if possible. How was the morning meeting? Short and sweet. I like the short and sweet part. What were we doing? Okay, yeah, look, I'm gonna get this note out, but I wrote down on this note long. I don't know. I saw the note in our study. We care in our watch list. So thanks. Go get it. watchlist.tradertv.live. Sharif came in. The very first thing he told me was, did I see the rating or the reweighting in the XLK? So I was like, okay, that would make sense here for a potential rally in the name because of the reweighting. But then I saw that it didn't really mean anything as of right now. So I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do here with Nvidia today. But again, I like it. I like the stock. I think the breakout through 132.50 is something that we'd want to wait for. But again, if the market doesn't get going, then it is going to be a short, and we'll look to see down here at 130 what winds up happening for potential long down there. I don't really want to go short Nvidia until for some reason the momentum is really there. And I feel like that's going to have to be a break in and around at least, I was going to say like was it 126? Yeah, see, so there's 120. Our charts on here for NVDA. So, here's 120. Yeah, so again, I don't know how we remember that level, but it's this 126, 127 area right here that I was sort of thinking would be the very bottom if it started to get down there. So I think a break of this makes me change my mind into the shorts. But until then, again, a bump to 134 would be nice, but then I feel like I'd already be long through 132.50. So yeah, let's test a 129 long, but ultimately, I'm not going short this name until I feel like we can break below this 127, 127.50. So I'll stick with the long here. The market could easily bounce and continue to go higher. We're at all-time highs. I'm going to stick with what I think is right, and that's going to be the long. And this was my daughter. I cannot, you don't understand how much time, I mean, we all understand it, but this was 2 years ago. And it's like, she's just it's hard to tell because it's your own kid, but she was such a wee one here. It was so crazy. And then now this was Ancaster. We went to Ancaster and handled our business. 2022, they didn't have a tournament last year, and then 2024, both years, with the trophy there. This was the T-ball Little League trophy, and this was the U9 all-girls Little League trophy, both playing for High Park right there. So I just want to say very, very proud of her right there, and hopefully our Achilles holds out a little bit longer so we can do this for longer and longer. But yeah, that's why I was just going through my phone to send out the sticky note, and that was the last picture that my wife had sent to me. So I was like, I have to show it because it's all on my Instagram and all that. Very, very proud of everything that we're doing there. So, but anyways, thoughts on Nvidia, and I'll get thanks, and I'll get this note out.
Okay, so Nvidia, yeah. So I've been watching this for the past, I guess, since the split, prior earnings as well. Obviously, it's a market leader. It's been holding quite well post earnings. Earnings gap up, consolidation, continuation there, and pushing for all-time highs, 133.79. So let's see how far it can get today. Maybe we push for more highs, or maybe we take a bit of a breather. We did kind of start off the week quite strong on most names as of yesterday. I'm just going to throw in a bit of a line that I'm potentially seeing here. But yeah, a little bit of a trend happening as of right now. Let's see if we can catch a bid around that 128, 127. Prior highs as well. Maybe that resistance turns support, which it did. Let's see if it's support again. If Nvidia can take a little bit of a pullback, but if this market kind of continues to stay as strong as it is, we might not even get down there. We might just continue towards all-time highs there. 135 going to be interesting. 130 was great the past couple of days. A few days ago, I think it was Monday, Tuesday, Friday. I think Friday. Yeah, Friday we did break out of that 130 mark, and then yesterday we kind of come right back into that 129.75. So let's go down to a smaller time frame so we can see that a little bit better there. So we did hold that 130 mark relatively well before bidding back up into the close, but we'll see what we do with prior day's low in and around this 129, 130 level on Nvidia. Very, very strong.
That's funny. Hi, Obi. I don't know who said that, but that was really funny. The Fahad comment with Neil. 217 trying to hold here for Apple. We're back to just 0.25%. But yeah, this market cap raise continuing, 3.3 trillion. coming into play. But don't blink because it'll probably change in the next 5 minutes.
Absolutely. It was just at 218. Now it's down into the low 217s. So a couple of headlines today for Apple. In addition to obviously being demoted, so to speak, on the XLK, there is issues with the discontinuing of the Apple Pay Later service. They're going to favor third-party affiliates like Affirm and Citigroup. They're going to fill the void there. So Apple getting out of that business. They also have issues in Europe. The EU competition chief raises concerns over their compliance with the DMA, the Digital Markets Act. So be on the lookout for possible headwinds for Apple.
2 days in a row here to the upside, possibly a bit of a pullback starting right now, guys, for Apple.
Yeah, I was just, I'm like, as I'm writing the sticky note, I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure the market will actually get back to where we were yesterday today. I like that move down there at the end of the day.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, and we got a red mug too. I was just saying, Randy, I thought maybe we could have a short day, and then you showed up with the red mug. So, I mean, maybe there is going to be something here today. It's a gloomy one outside on the way in. I think it's getting a lot nicer now, isn't it? The sun? No? Okay. But, all right, so, you know, Apple, again, really nice move. And as I talked about this already, well broken out, well extended off. This is the 50-period moving average. Look, we kind of hang around it. Now it's not even close. So Apple with a huge move up. Their super cycle is here. Everybody will be getting, including Randy most likely, an i15 Pro, the 16. It's all going to be coming through. iPhone, yeah, I know, I got it. The everything, iPods, AirPods, everything. Everyone needs, like my kids want new AirPods. They want new iPads. They want new whatever. It doesn't stop. But anyways, the super cycle's here. The AI chips are going to be in everything. That new iPad, I don't know if you saw the new iPad. You can just draw like an equation on the iPad and just push equals, and it will give you the answer, like bracketed answers, everything like that. This was as per the demonstration. So, but I'm waiting for the, you know, I'm waiting, and I think I'll get one of those phones. And I just think that it's here, it's real. And yeah, I think it's a dip by name, but I'm just not sure about today. I feel like I want to sit on my hands, and we already talked about this. 215.50 I think looks good, 216, and I also think 219 looks good as a short. So right now it's $1.50 that way or $1.50 that way. I like the short up here and the long right there. Other than that, I think Apple just kind of hangs around today. It's an interesting name to look at, just a good name to trade at its edges here.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that look as well. We saw that when it did push all-time highs last Wednesday up into the 220. We got that strong selling going into the close right here. So 220 all the way down to 212, 213s. And then we've been pretty much trading within that range since then. So like I said, maybe we are poised, we're getting ready for a break up towards the highs, but who knows? Well, we're trading well within this range that was kind of marked. So selling coming in aggressive off the 220. Whenever it attempts to pop into the area there, it does seem like some selling comes in. We saw what happened yesterday going into the close there in the last half hour of the trading session, 219s. Can't really get up to 219s, and then kind of a strong flush all the way down to 215 halves. So let's see if we break through some of these levels going in today, or do we do more of the same that we've been doing over the past 3 days and kind of just chop in this consolidation range here on Apple. But definitely some interesting levels. Prior day highs, 218, 219. I'll definitely be watching that. I got a bit of an alert here right at the pre-market highs as well, kind of getting me or pointing me in the direction of, okay, maybe you want to take a look at this if it's going to attempt prior day highs, which is only about a point or so away from all-time highs at that 220. Another price I do like is that wick off of the lows there, that strong sell that came in off of, I guess you can say imbalances or whatever, the strong selling that came in at the end of the day, 215 halves, as Sean just pointed out as well. 215, so you can see that a bit of a consolidation area as well on the day that we did push all-time highs. So a lot of interesting levels here on Apple. Let's see what we do today. I got to do better at staying nimble and kind of staying with the trend, but we'll take them as they come, the moves.
2 days in a row here, Micron back on watch, back to the upside this morning to the tune of 2.5%. We were talking yesterday about positive analyst moves on this stock. Here we are 2 days with more, this time from Wedbush, coming through, maintaining their outperform. 170 on the price target here, $20 to the upside.
Yeah, Wedbush chiming in on Micron today. So to Stifle with a buy rating and a price target of 165. Previous rating was 140. We got Bank of America Securities, BOA Securities, adding this to its favorite list, or yeah, the U.S. #1 list, I should call it. So lots of positive upside for the DRAM maker.
Market back upside here, guys. We got that industrial production data there at 9:15. Looks to be a little bit better than expected.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't look at that number that just came through. We did have Micron. We just got the sticky note out, by the way, as well. This name has been so hot fire. I mean, and then now you're getting the upgrade. It's like, again, all we can look at is the same chart, it seems like, every single stock. And I could just keep saying the same thing about how extended we are. It's a monster move to the upside. I love the upgrade here. I think it's something that you want to trade. I feel like 150 is a great little magnet, and it'll probably fade back into that. The best part about taking a 150 long is you can get out if it comes back in and tries to break through 148, because it should stop around 149, 148.50 and not break this 148 level. So again, I'm trying to wrap my head around, like, if we really like the long or not today. Like yesterday, and we had Micron, I think, was on our note yesterday as well, but look what happened early, right? It opens at 146, down to 143, back up to 146, down to 142, and then just rocket boosters the rest of the day to finish near the tops of 148.50. So, I mean, I feel like the same thing could happen again, down into 150 and then a retracement back up. So I want to be buying the strength in the NASDAQ, buying the resilience of this market. And I wrote down Nvidia on the sticky note, but I also noted if you're going to trade Nvidia, you should watch AMD, you should watch SMH, and you should watch Micron today. So we traded SMH. We really like to trade this name as well, but look at the extension on SMH. I mean, a lot of these names seem to be overextended to me, but at the same time, it's not worth fighting the trend. And the trend has been real up. And right now we're up again today on all these names. So I would say you still keep going with the Micron, with the Taiwan semi that hit all-time highs yesterday as well. So, I mean, what exactly are we doing here trying to fight these names? Better off waiting for dip buy opportunities. And Micron is really a prime candidate down here at 150. We love that kind of a level. It now broke above it. Look what this looks like on it. I mean, I don't have to extend this out. We've already sort of looked at this. We're well off, well up. Micron kind of just very, very quietly telling Nvidia not to hold its beer, but it's up almost 50% or 100%, sorry, from the beginning of the year. So that's a huge move up for this name. And again, without knowing too much about why they're so important, it seems like the market likes it. And if Bank of America is upgrading it, then I'd say stay with the trend and go long down there at 150. Cheers to everybody who's having their second coffee today.
Yeah, Micron with a very strong trend. Kind of covered it a little bit earlier today as well. I was like, okay, we've kind of held above this prior earnings anchored. We dipped back below, reclaim, held it quite well on what does this day here? On May 31st with that strong wick on the daily, and then since then we've been in a steady uptrend, volume kind of steady as well, pushing into all-time highs right now. Pre-market is trading at that 151.5s with a high at 152.72. So definitely on my watch for today. With that again, Bank of America upgrade. Very strong push off of yesterday's bottoms, yesterday's lows. We do pretty much a V-shaped recovery and then trade sideways for over an hour, 2.5 hours going into the close sideways there. So I'll definitely be watching some of these prices right underneath that 150 if we can kind of come back down. But yeah, closing at or near all-time or near high a day, and then bidding up in the pre-market, and then even higher there. It is showing some decent strength there. You can see the volume has been quite steady during this uptrend as well. So let's see if that volume stays steady and we get more of the same today. I'll definitely be watching this ticker through that 152.72 all-time highs. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of a leg up after this strength has been shown.
Let's talk QCOM here real quick. Back to the upside again this morning after a huge day yesterday. 2.5% right now in the pre-market on the pullback. Back to 228. We had that well-known tech analyst coming out yesterday suggesting Samsung Galaxy S25 25, not X25, going to be powered by Qualcomm exclusively. I mean, there's a number of analyst moves this morning as well for QCOM, another one that just keeps going here.
Yeah, and it's not a good look for Samsung because Samsung was supposed to make the chips themselves. They're called the Exynos, or however it's spelled, the Exynos 2500 chip. They're not going to be able to produce those in the same number that they'd like to. They're having issues with their 3-nanometer process, so they're going to go to Qualcomm. Well, Qualcomm doesn't make their own chips. Guess who makes it for them? TSMC, so they stand to benefit from this little deal here, Brendo. Keep your eye on both those names today.
Yeah, more strength to come here, guys, in tech land.
Basically, a lot about some of these tech names. I feel like they're all very, very similar. The one thing that I'm most worried about right now, we don't have it on the board, so I want to get to it right now. You can talk about Qualcomm if you want. I don't really trade it too much on the show. But right here, Bitcoin. Bitcoin to me, I have Coinbase now. I thought maybe Coinbase would be on the rundown today, but it's not. We'll get to it. But right there, Coinbase 242 short. BTC looking lower. It's its lowest level here in a month. Trying to break back down below 65,000, and it just did it. So that's why I want to bring it to everybody's attention. We are now starting to go lower here in BTC, and there it was, 64.5, right? So you're getting below now. We were just sort of dancing around 65 here. It hasn't been a good little run for Bitcoin over the last little week or so after touching back to all-time highs. I mean, just a while ago we were at 72. Now you're dripping down. We talked about this with Michael yesterday. We don't really want to lose this 65. But if you're a long-term bull, then I mean, realistically, it's probably better off to go to a weekly chart, and then you'll see that we're still very, very comfortable with where we are. But I look at losing 60 as being a problem. Last time we did that, we actually almost lost it all, got down to 57. And then if that doesn't hold, then unfortunately 40s. And I said to OB, and I know that I'll probably get in trouble from a lot of traders, but if the NASDAQ falls 10+%, 10-15%, I think crypto falls 50%. Okay, so I just think that people will take money out of crypto because a lot less people believe in that, and they believe more in the NASDAQ. So when you see Nvidia fall 30 or 40%, if that's what's going to happen, which people are saying the NASDAQ could fall 10-15%, I don't think that that's unbelievable. We've had that happen before.
Range, yeah.
We've had that happen before. Remember, crypto went from 66 to 12,000 or so, right? Will that happen again? I do not think so. But can we go from 73 to 40? Yeah. I mean, we could get down there. That was the last support. The last time we were there, I just showed you. It's not impossible to do that. I mean, even a stock like Coinbase, to say like, oh, I don't think Coinbase can fall 50%. Well, you know where it was in February? It was $120. It's had a huge move up. And I just think that I'm a long-term, I'm not selling any crypto, so it's not like I believe that's going to happen. It's just if the NASDAQ falls, I could see people distrusting crypto again because you're going to get the Ethereum ETF's going to get launched. Then people are going to say, what's next? That's all. I mean, you're always looking for catalysts. But anyways, my trade today on Coinbase would be 242 short. So it's kind of where we were yesterday. I just thought a little bit of a move up. It's where the 200 period is here on the 1 minute chart. It's down 2%. If we're going to look for a short, I think it could be Coinbase today in and around 242. So that's what I'm looking for in the crypto space. Anything on Qualcomm or Samsung? Or?
Yeah, so Qualcomm with the Samsung, potential Samsung news there, they're saying that it might be the exclusive supplier for their Galaxy S25, so the new line of phones there, and it is bidding up into all-time highs. It is on my watch list today as an in-play ticker. Again, pushing all-time highs on a catalyst. Strong day yesterday along with the other chips and along with the market as well, and doing a little bit more of a leg in the pre-market, pushing up into this 230.87 high as well. So we are taking a bit of a pullback. It is doing some significant RVOL in the pre-market. I got here on a 5 period. It's doing just over 9 there. So let's see if we can pull back into some of yesterday's levels and then kind of continue the move there. But yeah, very, very strong close, continuation into the pre-market. Let's see what we have in store with Qualcomm. Again, with a catalyst and pushing all-time highs. There's a bit of a confluence of factors. I want to see that strength come in. If it doesn't, we'll see what we have in store otherwise.
Not sure anyone was expecting much positivity to come from that call for GME yesterday, but here comes more Well, it did actually just bounce off lows there. I was just going to say, here comes more session lows here in the pre-market once again. GME down better part of 4%, 3.5% right now on the bounce.
Yeah, so it happened yesterday on the Midday show. We covered that for you live. There were no shareholder questions that were allowed. Ryan Cohen focused the emphasis of the meeting on cost cutting, profit growth. Didn't explain how that profit growth was going to come, and potentially more store closures. However, you can't argue with facts. 7 out of 8 weeks now, this stock has been up. It doubled in May, and it's up 44% year to date. Let's see where it goes.
Holding 24 right now, trying to get going here, guys, with about a minute to go.
Ready to go here. I have GME at 23. So, I mean, this was that major support level. Honestly, I mean, it was a top until it broke, and since it broke, it's never broken back through. So, I mean, maybe 22.87, something like that as a bottom. I mean, I wrote down on this, like, let's go long 23. I'm already bidding there. We're bidding 23.25, and then we'll hold it to whatever these levels are, and I'll just look at it more closer when it gets there. But 22, it looks like 22.80, something like that. So I feel like I can hold this 50, 60 cents against myself. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what happens with GameStop. I'm all aboard, man. Let's let it dip down. We do have those imbalances that are going to hit the market right off the open. Oh crap, we only have 30 seconds to go right now. So thoughts on GME quickly, Obi?
I think the game has stopped as of right now, but we shall see. Let's see if that volatility kind of comes back in.
All right, there we go. That's a good one right here. So we will get ready to go with only 15 seconds to go. We're looking for Nvidia. We're looking for a bunch of different names here. We'll hit that countdown, and Adara will be on the bell once again. All right, I'll be looking at Nvidia as we go. 4, 3, 2, and let's get ready to rock and roll. All right, so I'll, early on a look here is just to see what the market does. I mean, I really want to see if there is going to be a settling down here and just be able to try to find a trend. And maybe Nvidia takes that 132.50. If it does, then we're going to be in that, right? There's the level from yesterday. So I want to see if it takes it. Right now, it's opening to nothing, absolutely nothing right now for Nvidia, not moving around. Apple as well. Let's zoom in just a little bit to see this chart, to see what we've got dealing with here. So a little bit of a bounce higher off VWAP 218 and change. Again, we think we're stuck in the middle here. We're looking for lower lows into 215 for Apple. GameStop is starting to go back up to the upside right now. Nice little move, trying to touch 25 there off open. So again, market imbalance is hitting that name. And Coinbase on the NASDAQ, we wrote down short. It is getting shorter, but not much volume in the spread. Wow, 80 cents here on Coinbase. The other trade that I was looking to make here would be Tesla on any kind of a dip buy opportunity. But for right now, not really seeing much. We're waiting for that 184. So I think patience will reign today, but let's just keep it in the pocket for now and wait to see if there is any opportunities that sort of show its face.
Yeah, I'm watching Qualcomm and Micron here as well, just to see what we do with this some of this opening action. There's about I think about 200 lots there at that 227. That's it's not really printing as of right now. 228's testing on Qualcomm. So yeah, it seems like some of the prices from the pre-market and after-hour session are holding as of right now, but I do want to give it some more time. But Micron, oh boy, that 153.30 is coming right in on Micron. So we kind of already broke through that pre-market high. It is blasting off over a point past that pre-market high as of right now on Micron. So very strong action there right off of the open. Again, I missed that pre-market high break, but I'll stay a little bit more patient to see if it kind of comes back in and we get some more chances to get involved on that one there. But yeah, no, market's kind of just chopping. We know we're at that 20 thou mark on the NQ. We finally got above it as of yesterday with a 22.50 high as well. So yeah, markets are very strong, and chips are definitely the leaders there. Testing 228 halves as of right now. So just chopping around in the opening range there. I guess Micron was the ticker to be involved with, as it is raging to the upside there, Sean.
Raging. Yeah, we talked about that. We really, really liked that long there on Micron. Through that, I guess it didn't dip down, right? Didn't get into anywhere near 150. We do have our first position of the day. It's Nvidia. I mean, we knew we would want this. We thought we could maybe try to wait to see a base. Looked like it was going to take the 50-period moving average, so we did go long right here at 131.25, using the bottom of 130. So it already went up in the money for me about 20 cents. We didn't take it. Now I'm sitting here in the 50s to take the 20 cents because that's right where VWAP is. That's a 200 period. If we can get something on the 50s, great, and then we'll see if we can scream higher. But I'm going to use this as the bottom. Here it comes back in. I'm going to use this as the bottom, 130.50. So the low is really 130.60. We'll average some in again at 130.80. See if we do get a little bit of a drift back through. But I like the stock. I like the name. It's going to be Nvidia here, especially if the market wants to keep its trend, which has been higher. But please note that we are bouncing off VWAP again on the market. So we're going to be patient with it and then scalp out 10% up here, and then hopefully the rest higher than that. The other idea that I had on, because it is a name that we are looking at from the note, and that was Tesla 184. So I didn't expect Tesla to make this move here like this today, but if you notice yesterday's open, it was a very sort of wild one as well, where you had a move down and then it just kind of ripped up, continuing the move the rest of the morning. So bouncing around a little bit, finding a base yesterday morning in and around 177, 178, and then taking off. So if we're looking at Tesla right now, let's see if we could do something right now. This is why we wrote down 184. Because we thought that this was a level that had a chance to come in, and it's coming in right now. And man, you're your Apple, but Apple starting to go back up to some of those levels that we had talked about into 219 as a possible short. But let's go. Here we go, man. The chef is in the building. I don't know if you're here, Chef Joe, but let's see if we can get cooking here with Nvidia and get through the 50s. Yeah, buddy. There it is right now. Let's hit those sirens. We'll go 1 for 1, but we're just out of 10%. So who knows where this one's going to go. But we do know that we have a Dara ready, and Coinbase going down.
Nice small cap move here for Comtech, CMTL. This one reporting earnings pre-market, beating earnings per share estimates, and also announcing a $222 million credit facility. For context, the market cap of this company is just under $62 million. They also have an 11% short float, so keep an eye on CMTL, guys.
We're really starting to rock now with NVDA OB. I mean, the money is coming in now, baby. It's a nice little move there for NVDA. And there it is. We bought it and we held it. And oh my God, we are now OB. What's that club we like?
Dollar.
Let's do it. Right there. We'll go 1 for 1 with our first trade. It's $1 on Nvidia. We're long at 131. Let's see if we can get it some more out up here. We just got some out at 132. We need to get some more out on the upside here because remember, that high tick that we just talked about on the sticky note was 132.50. So we're long Nvidia here at 131, and let's make sure we can get something out here in the teens. We're actually at 18 right now to put that 90 cents in our pocket, and then we'll see if we can float a little bit on that one up to 132.50. I probably won't smack that long because we're already in, but we definitely will hold and see if we can get a break through right now 132.50. Yeah, so far so good here, Obi. Anything you're in yet, or
yeah? So I did take a little bit of Qualcomm here. Again, market pretty strong there. It did kind of reclaim, or it's trying to reclaim some of this VWAP right here, right at the 228 level here. So yeah, might get stopped out, but again, I'm keeping it relatively tight. Let's see if that strength kind of comes in. But oh boy, Apple right back up into that 218. 218 coming in real hot there. So I'm gonna let that one kind of churn. Chop and churn and give us some potential opportunities. 220 all-time highs, right? Oops. So going to be patiently waiting for some of that. Anything distinctly different on the tape, I do want to get involved. But this 227 on Qualcomm is holding as of right now. But yeah, what are you guys trading off of the open there? There goes the ES. Blasting up through some of these pre-market consolidation highs there. So let's see if we can break this reserve. There's a reserve on the ask at 228. That's what it looks like as of right now, because it's only showing 2 lots on the book. But oh boy, are there shares going off there? So if that reserve kind of breaks, we might be off to the races here. That reserve also confluencing with VWAP to the T pretty much. I have VWAP here at 227.99, 228.01-ish. But yeah, showing 1 lot on the ask, as you guys can see here. But take a look at all the size that's going through at that 228. So definitely there's a bit of a hold on the ask there. Let's see if we can kind of push back through that. Markets are quite strong. There goes the NQ pushing off of 2200. So let's see, a bit of a downtrend off of the pre-market session. I don't know if we're going to hold that or not. I'm just patiently waiting for this to go, or it doesn't. And then we're going to move on to the next trade there, Sean.
Let's go back to Adara.
SMCI here up about 3%. Supermicro last night announcing that they're adding 3 new manufacturing facilities in Silicon Valley and across the globe for some AI growth support. So nice AI headline here for SMCI, already up almost 3%, guys.
All right, so just quickly. We accidentally, I thought I looked down at Tesla, and thank God I didn't even put any shares in, but I thought I looked down at Tesla and it said 184.30, but it was 185.30. So I got out immediately at 185.12 because I was like, oh my God, that's not the right price. And then now we just bought it again. So this is basically the first Tesla trade. We were waiting down there at 184. We just got missed. It went to 184.30, but we do have this bid right here. We are long Tesla right now, 40 cents in the money. I'll take a piece out if it gets back up to 185.50 because again, that's been sort of the recent top, and we're not like super convinced about the position of the market today. So, and I feel like that's been, I mean, remember when the market opened up today and I was like, you know what, Apple's kind of in the middle. I'm not too certain on what we want to do with this market. Well, I think that's been pretty evident right now as it's just doing the same thing it's been doing all pre-market. And that's just kind of just jamming around. So we'll have to wait to see if there is a direct look here at a direction. And until then, I feel pretty confident in what I'm doing and just kind of sitting here and hanging out a bit in some of these names that we like. Good trade there for Obi over in Qualcomm. Let's see if that can pan out. The other name that we wanted to look at was Micron today, and we talked about how clean that was on that 150 break and no dip buy opportunity. So I'm not going to, you know, sort of, wow, okay, Tesla, let's see if we can get going. 50 cents in the money. We are waiting for 185.40. Just got missed. I thought we actually got filled there. We did not. It went to did I not get filled? It went to 185.40. I'm at 185.40. Thought I got filled, but again, stops and drops. So hopefully it comes back up. Come on, I mean, should I change it? I don't know. 185.40 will wait. Let's see what GameStop is doing as well. 24 and change. Obi, what's that?
So that reserve broke.
I like that.
Reserve broke. Instantly pops. The ask pops up 50 pennies off of the 228 reserve.
So what's up with Apple?
Broke. And then Apple getting slammed down. So I did see the NQ getting a little slap to the downside there. I was like, what's going on? Apple selling off of the similar levels as yesterday here as of right now. So that selling came in and around that 218.60s. And then look at that coming in today. 218.60s come in and then we slam right back down. So, oh boy, did I miss out on that one there. It came in quite hot. 15 halves is a level I'm interested in as well. So let's see if the bid kind of picks back up there. We did get some aggressive selling into that level, and we did hold that going into the close. So maybe some potential something in the book in and around that 215 half. So I'll be watching that. But yeah, this Qualcomm is going as of right now. Pre-market highs at 230s. Let's see if we can make that. That was quite an aggressive hold on the ask there at that 228s, and we finally did break that. So I like that. Go ahead and bring that back if you can at the 228. So yeah, let's see if that 2200 holds on the NQ. We did kind of slam right back in. Apple quite red right now. Softy as well. Alphabet as well, and Amazon, but Nvidia is the only one that's really kind of holding as of right now. And the spider, oh boy, is the spider kind of pushing up as well. So it might not be some of these tech names that are giving the strength to the ES here on the day. I do have to take a quick look at the map.
Yeah, sure. Let's say, yeah, we can have a look. I know you like to do that. We have $1 in the money right now on Tesla as that starts to really shoot up right there. But yeah, the market's pulling back, and I feel like it's as Apple, obviously. I'm not going to be in this for too long. We're long here at 85. I mean, this move down in Apple, we did this yesterday down here into the 20-period moving average. Let's see if Apple can hold here. I'm not sure. We're long at 85. Adara?
If you're looking for some of these small cap or related names here, we do have MBIO on a day 2 run. Mustang Bio, yesterday this was a penny stock. Now we're getting close to $1.30 here, up almost 70% yesterday, now seeing some positive data for its blood cancer treatment. Worth noting as well, Mustang Bio is a short float of about 18%. So MBIO on watch, guys.
Why am I not able to like punch in this? So we just got, by the way, Apple broke 215.50, so we are out of Apple, and that one just continues to go down. And we talked about it, and Sharif, we were just mentioning it, that there is that selling, that reweighting that's supposed to happen there for the XLK. So if that is a thing, then I mean, I kind of, let me try to buy some more here at 46. I wonder when that's going to be over. And I just don't want to miss the bottom because we are at a decent level here, and I don't want to try to pick it to the exact penny or anything like that. And I feel like that's maybe what I'm trying to do by just getting out, for 40-cent hit there. Might have been a little premature. But all right, so 215. Let's just use 215 then as a solid level. And then, I mean, if it breaks through there, then I feel like I won't be alone. And there'll be a lot of traders that may be fleeing for the exit there. We may even be able to reverse into a short. But there it is, a little bit of a move back upside. Okay, a little bit of a move. All right, we'll take this. Oh yeah. We will take this move back up. We'll fire off a little bit of a hot dog cannon there. As you just saw me sort of go through what I was thinking there with Apple. So nice move back. We did get stopped out there at the bottom, but again, just trying to think through it. Wow. Oh man, damn, that stop out hurt, Daniel, because we had a decent amount there, and we didn't put back as much as we had. So yeah, okay. Good risk management by getting out, I feel like, but we may have picked the bottom. We got back in, but not going to be up on Apple with this. It needs to go a little bit further because we only put back in about a third or so of the risk into this trade that we did wind up losing it. So although we wind up losing that 40 cents, we have to make about $1.20 to make it back, right? And so hopefully that will come through there for Apple and for us. But for right now, Nvidia trying to go as well. We did not average back into that. We should have. We're waiting for 130.80 for that one. Nvidia trying to go. And then, we talked about Coinbase and how I thought that was going to be a little bit of a move down, and it sure was. Down $5 off open, trying to find a base now, Coinbase. Let's go, Nvidia. Maybe we'll take a piece out.
This is crazy. So there's a reserve at that 228. Now there's a reserve on the ask at 229s. It's holding as of right now, and then some size as well that keeps popping in and out at that 230 mark. Again, 230.87 being the pre-market highs, also all-time highs there on Qualcomm. Again, this ticker has a catalyst today, and also pushing all-time high. So a little bit of a confluence stack there. But that was a solid long there, Sean, off of the 215.5. So he kind of grabs that 215.5 and then just blasts off over a point there on Apple. So a good trade on that one.
Here goes Nvidia.
And, there goes Nvidia. What is Nvidia doing? Okay, so yeah, pushing for that 132.
Let's go.
Right now. So it seems like we are catching a little bit of a bid. The NQ got slammed down, but then it's also holding. But ES relatively strong as well. There goes Apple into 217 apparently.
Let's go see what Adara has to say. Damn.
Another smaller name making some big moves today. We have Chegg, market cap of around $250 million. Short float of about 17.5%. So notable short float here for CHGG. Sorry, this one trading higher after announcing a restructuring plan, which includes cutting about 23% of its global workforce and closing some of its locations. So CHGG, nice look to the upside. Only green candles since open, guys.
Thanks, Adara. I kind of forgot about Tesla there. We're just bidding it right now, 183.50. Tesla just came in like a hot stick of dynamite right in here. All right, so let's see what happens. We are long at 184.10, man. I don't want to give this one too much more love than where we're at right now. That's 183. I mean, wow. All right. This came in a little quicker than we thought, a little hotter than we thought right here for Tesla. So, all right, I'm just going to have to use 183 then as the out. I mean, we were lucky enough to get, please, I mean, I don't want to do this again, but, we have to get out at some point of some of these trades, right? We're not going to be able to hold these forever. Yesterday, we were lucky enough to get out of Tesla in and around this level on the short before it started to rip up. It was 181.50 or 182 or something like that before the rip up. So here on Tesla, we've already sort of thought 184 would hold. That's where we went in. Now we're not holding at all as we continue to come back. And it's funny that I said, Randy's coming with the red cup today. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of thinking this could be a little bit of a red day. And it seems like we may exactly be in for that. So let's try to get a little bit more down here on Tesla. But again, a break too much lower than 183, and we will be out of this trade. And if I nail it to the bottom and I get stopped out, and unfortunately that is the bottom, I don't think we're going to get back into Tesla. The momentum on this thing can really shift real quick. So let's just try to try to hold out that maybe 183 comes into play and we do get a little bit of a bounce back. I didn't hear really any negative stories. Yesterday I was short Tesla because I thought the pay package thing might have been a little bit overdone right there, but here's a nice move back up for Tesla. Come on. All right, we're long at 184. It's at 75 now. So, you know, not okay. Let's go a little bit of a hot dog cannon here as, damn, man, this has been, shit, no wonder why I'm losing hair and have so much gray hair as well right now. I mean, I stress out about these things every damn day, but someone hopefully who's not too stressed out is over at the desk with a Dara.
Just keep an eye on AMD here, seeing this story circulate around Twitter that apparently this hacker called Intel Broker is claiming to have breached AMD earlier this month, saying that apparently they're trying to distribute this information online. So potential hack, or at least claims of a hack and an information breach here for advanced micro devices, guys.
Yeah, that's not great right there. But you know what that might be great for, as we are now 70, 80 cents in the money on Nvidia, because, you know, if you're hacking one thing, you might not be hacking the other. So we'll wait to see what happens here with Nvidia. I don't think that story will necessarily reflect them, but we do or affect them. We do have a nice bid down here at 131.20, and we've just been getting out here at the highs. So for me on Nvidia today, it is going to be the #1 trade idea on the sticky note, and it's going to be my P&L #1. So that's always nice when that happens. But at the end of the day, we're still waiting for Tesla to go back up. We have the most amount of notional dollars right now in Tesla. This is my biggest trade right here, right now. We've been piecing out of Nvidia, and right here, we're just trying to see if Tesla wants to go. We had it here. That was a good trade. We took the dollar. Remember, we rang that dollar club. So now let's see if it can come back up to the upside. We're long here at 78. We just got some out at 99s right there. Let's see if it goes higher here for Tesla and bring this day back a little bit for us. The big hit was on Apple, as we talked about that, as it came back in. Now it's right back to where it was. So good thing can you believe we have a 216.60 fill there on Apple? So so far so good on that one. Let's just see what winds up happening here as this is trying to come back. Here we go, man. Now we're 50 cents in the money. See, this is the thing about the show. I hope you guys appreciate this. I'm going to tell you the positions I have the most amount of shares on, and I think that's something that I'm getting better at for everybody, because I know that's something that you guys have wanted, because we don't show our P&L. So I'll just tell you the trades that I'm digging into and the trades that I have the most amount of shares in, and it's generally going to be sticky note names and or brand new ideas that I feel are worth taking. So again, I really appreciate everybody for being here. Let's go Tesla, basically. Obi, your Qualcomm trade seems to be cooking as well.
Yeah, it's kind of, it came back into that 228, so that's kind of what I wanted to see. If the bid is really there at that 228, do we kind of support that
Tesla,
hold?
holy shit,
that 229 had a bit of a reserve. It pops above the reserve by 6 pennies and then slams back down. I'm like, all right, well, yeah, sure, maybe that's a bit of a reason to sell. But again, that 228 was aggressive enough for me to kind of hold on to this and be like, all right, well, we are technically still making higher highs and higher lows on the ticker, and I do want to stay a little bit patient and take the trade for what it is. Let's see if it kind of comes in. We are bidding right back up into that 229 as I speak, so let's see if we can break through that 229.6. Definitely potentially trapping some shorts that got in on that action of the failure to follow through of 229. There's about 300 lots that I'm seeing at that 230 as well, so maybe you want to go grab that lick as well. But that 215.5 on Apple there, Sean, it is holding as of right now, so that's definitely a good look. A bit of a consolidation happening on top of that area, and the NQs kind of ripping right back up as of right now. So let's see what we do with that 2200. 20,200 level on the NQ. But like I mentioned before, a bit of a downtrend coming in off of the morning session on the NQs. We were quite aggressively strong yesterday, so a little bit of a breather may be in store, but we shall see. Some of the other names I'm watching, yeah, AMD selling off as well. ARM I've been watching as well. ARM has been pushing for its highs as well, back up to 160s. That 120 area was definitely interesting on that one. And something of note, Intel, Sean, has been pretty strong as well. It was very strong yesterday. yesterday, and then today as well, kind of pushing up past that 31 mark on Intel. So some decent movers in the tech sector. TSM as well, some strength. So yeah, a little distinctly different from some of these other names here. Softy to the downside, Amazon, Alphabet, and Apple to the downside as well. Nvidia holding its gains. Spider still holding as well. I'm looking for that 550 on the Spider if it can come in. Those all-time highs on the Spider are definitely interesting as well. It wasn't too long ago that we were in and around that 400, and now we're testing that 550 there, Sean. So markets do only go up, apparently.
Yes, except for when they go down, and they often go down like an elevator. Yep. And today, I don't see too much elevator action. We were so, you know what? Whatever, man. Look, I'm tired of, like, we sit here and we say, like, oh my God, there goes Tesla. But I mean, this is what trading's all about. You know, you have to put your money into spots where you think you can get it out at a reasonable return. So for Tesla to be now $1.55 in the money right now, we talked about, we like this name. We liked it down here at 184. It's a sticky note name, and there it goes, man. $1. Look what we're doing right now. We're $1 in the money on Nvidia, right? There it goes, ripped up to the upside again. Take some more out at this high. We will try 132.50 on that. Apple, bang. I mean, we already got that. We're not reloading this one. Something seems wrong with it. So we'll just hold on to Tesla. I mean, here go. I mean, is Tesla going to break 185 or what? I mean, I really like this one. Shout out to Adam DeLuz in the chat as well, as he is not delosing at all if you are long right now on Tesla. And then Nvidia. So look at this, man. Back-to-back jacks right now. We've got Tesla, we've got Nvidia, both are Dollar Club members. Apple, we've already touched $1, but we are red on Apple. So that was a little bit of a surprise. Crypto, obviously going to be talked about as well, but right now over to the desk with Adara.
Keep an eye on Chewy here, CHWY. Not seeing any news on this, but this one's pushing days highs, up about 8% on pretty decent volume, 4.2% short float. So keep an eye on CHWY. I'll let you guys know if I see anything news related on this name, guys.
All right. Yeah, Chewy. That's an interesting name. You have a pet cat.
I have 2 pet cats.
And what's up with them? Are they how are they doing?
They're good. They're not too bad. A little. One I'm pretty sure is like in spirit. She's a dog because she fetches. She I'm pretty sure she's like imprinted on me. She follows me everywhere. But definitely has I guess canine-like characteristics. She grew up with a dog when we got her. When she was a kid, and she was one of her buddies was like this really tall greyhound. So I think she might get some behavior from that. But no, they're doing well. But speaking of Chewy, this market's really getting chewed up here to the downside. That 2020 or 20,200 gets pushed right back down. What's going on?
Nvidia just broke 132. Keep going, but we're long more 132s on Nvidia. This is the hot dog cannon call again from the day, man. We're long already Nvidia 131. We just added to it at 132.50. Obi, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so Nvidia pushing past prior days consolidation highs, like end of day consolidation highs there. So yeah, it seems like Nvidia is the only one that is a little distinctly different from the other Mag 7 that I am watching. Everything else is selling to the downside. 215 coming in on Apple. So yeah, I guess I was shorting all the right prices, but just not at the right time. Yesterday, as pretty much anything and everything above 215, I was like, this is doing this on low volume. And it was quite interesting as well. But strong flush off of the same places that we've been selling off of since that test of 220 on Apple, that 215 coming right back in. But yeah, Nvidia to the upside, Nvidia quite strong, that 133 coming in. But I just want to point out here, going up to a higher time frame on the 15-minute, every time we have kind of attempted a push towards these all-time highs. We have gotten some aggressive selling back down, and today is proving to be more of the same there. That 218.95 comes in, and oh boy, do we sell off to that 215. So 215, 212. 67, 212.70s is prior day's lows on Apple. Let's see how far we can get on this fade back down maybe a reversion in store on this one, but again, I don't want to be fighting the trend too much on this. I'll wait for the bid to potentially step back up. Let's see if it kind of catches up with Nvidia. But that 215 gets slammed right through, and okay, a little bit of a rebid. We are still trading around that 215 here on Apple, as you guys can see on the tape right here.
By the way, Tesla was $1. With inflation, it's now $2.
Wow. Okay, that
this
really
is an inflation trade. So there it goes, man. Tesla just rips through that level, and wow, what a trade that appears to be for Tesla shareholders as well. And look what Nvidia is doing. Oh no, Obi, why did we write down 132.50 long? Why did we write that down? There it goes, man. It's a nice move to the upside here for Nvidia, and I just want to talk about the sticky note. We are going to be wrong on Apple. It's not even on the sticky note, first of all. There's Tesla 184. That's now $2 in the money. Nvidia 132.50, now almost $1 in the money on that play as well. It's another big one there. Go follow me at TraderTV, Sean the sticky note. It's just so funny that we've lost everything, not lost everything, we're up today, pretty good. It's just our biggest hit was Apple trying to find these bottoms, and we did get that there. We just tried at 215 and then it lost it, and we punched out almost immediately, but still an L there for that one. But Tesla, we just took a piece out. So right now, we have about 30% left, maybe a little bit less. Let's call it 25% left of Tesla. Let's see if it wants to continue to go up. I mean, the NASDAQ, we sit here every day and talk about its resilience. Let's see if that is true or not for that. And by the way,
yes, sir.
Nvidia. I mean, there's the first long at 131. There's the second long at 132. There's the outs up here at 133.20. So, so far so good here for Nvidia. Nvidia will be, well, Nvidia now, oh, damn, man, now we're really going. Nvidia now will be my P&L number one. Big trade alert on Nvidia. Google is going to VWAP, people saying. You're still on Qualcomm?
I'm still on Qualcomm.
You know what I want to tell you there?
Aggressive selling. So the 229 broke finally. So it did. There was a reserve on the ask at 229. It broke, goes about 30, 40 pennies, and then gets slammed right back down for about a point. And I'm like, oh boy, is that bid gonna hold? It holds. It rebids back through that 229. So definitely chopping up players. Here comes a 230 on Qualcomm, and 230 blast right through like butter, so wasn't really much size there. And here comes the pre-market highs on Qualcomm, 230.87, so about 40 pennies away from that. The spread on this one is a little wide there, but the spread comes in, closes in, and kind of pulls back out. So a little bit of accordion action on that spread on Qualcomm. But the bigger picture move, I think, is still kind of there. If you're getting chopped up by that spread, oh boy, I don't know about that one. But that 215 finally cracks on Apple there. That 230 is testing on Qualcomm. Let's see what else is going on. What are some of the?
We got to go to Adara for numbers. So let's go to Adara. We'll get back and talk about that.
Just waiting for business inventories and retail inventories ex auto month over month. These are both going to be for the month of April, and the retail number has actually revised. So business inventory is coming exactly in line with expectations here. 0.3% versus 0.3 expected, slightly higher than the previous of -0.1. Industrial, that was 9:15. We got industrial production. We're just waiting here for these retail inventories ex autos revised for April. But yeah, business inventory is coming exactly in line with expectations here. S&P 500 not reacting too much to this number, at least right now. Still pretty much flat on the day. A lot of the day is going to continue to be stories we've seen. Nvidia staying strong here, Apple staying on watch since the WWDC event, and chips staying strong. One of these chip names, particularly of note right now, is going to be Micron here at day's highs, up 5.5%, getting another slew of price target increases, including from Wedbush, Stifel, and BofA Global Research, adding it to its Global One list of top-rated buy stocks. So great look for MU heading into its earnings next Wednesday. We also have your Boeing continuing to the downside, currently down about 2%. This report here coming from Bloomberg from this Senate hearing, saying that whistleblower said that Boeing lost track of up to 400 quote-unquote bad parts for its 737. So some more quality concern issues with the 737 for BA, down about 2%. A lot of the same stories we're seeing again today, guys.
All right, yeah, thank you, Ms. Adara, for sure on that one. Okay, so just a few things. So Tesla's come back in. I mean, we talked about having 20% left. We just got more. So we just got more down here at 184. I mean, I still like the name. Our stop orders are still in here, but it's not until it breaks 183. So, I mean, maybe we need to stop thinking so aggressively long because the market does not want to go up. I mean, it just tried, tried to break VWAP, then that number came out, and then we got squashed. So we did have a nice move off of 20,150 there, back up about 50 handles, and then hit at 2020. So we'll wait to see 2,200. We'll wait to see what happens here now with this one. I'm still pretty comfortable with it. We're not loaded up into Tesla yet. We are going to change our philosophy on how we trade, and we've talked about that again, and that is that let's not just layer into things. Let's be patient, and then if we get it, we get it. If we don't, then we walk away with the net that we have, which right now is perfectly fine. So we're happy with the way we're trading today. Nvidia still 70 cents in the money, and again, it's all the way up. And this one is really from there, 130, 120. We just added to it. A lot of the times I get questions, Sean, why are you not adding to your winners? And I say, valid question. So let's figure that out. So that's something that we've studied a little bit, and that is that we add to our losers until we get stopped out, which creates epic, disastrous trades. That's not the way to do it, Obi.
No.
If I could advise you. Oh, you know what I wanted to sort of give you a little bit of shit for?
What's up?
Is that's a great trade.
Thanks.
But you should have just loaded into that trade. And I know your share size is going to be your thing, and you do have a lot of shares. It's all good. But I just think that when you're that confident, because you've been talking about how much you love that position, and I just want to say this is something that I did with Adara as well, is that it's time to shine.
Yes.
Because right now the light is on you, my friend, and you're hitting some great winners. I've been watching over the last couple of days, and then now you're sitting right here, and I can see it firsthand. So congratulations, Obi. The runway is quite extended out for you, my guy. Just make sure you're not riding in that Boeing.
Yeah, with the fake titanium and
something like that.
Yeah, interesting things going on there. But yeah, thanks, Sean. I do have to again. I do have to get a little bit better with the confidence there, but yeah, there were a couple places to definitely add to this trade for that 230 push, and there goes the 230 as of right now. So we are kind of pushing up, holding VWAP as well. Again, catalyst, all-time highs, strong trend. We've been seeing what's happening with some of these tech names here, but yeah, a little lucky as well. Again, I don't know what the ticker is going to do. I'm just trying to listen to the chart.
Stop saying lucky.
Just trying to listen to the chart and price action and have them tell me what to do there. Apple though holding that 215. But no, I do think there's a little bit of luck involved there, Sean. So,
yeah. But I'm saying it's about the Freedom and Wealth podcast one more time here. If you're gonna look, but I'm being serious, obviously, because we're doing another one of those today. We had our best podcast last one, so go check it out if you haven't yet. No, it's not that you're talking negatively or anything like that, but it's like you gotta think more positively.
Yes.
You said, oh, lucky, but I'm just saying, lucky, you found the trade. You dug for the trade. You have one trade on, and I just hashtagged real trading. Okay, you have one trade on that.
One good trade. Shout out.
Forget about those shout outs. But no, that was the only book that I've actually listened to trading wise in probably 20 years. So the one thing here is that you put the trade on and it's there. You found that trade. If you put on 10 trades and you won on 6 and lost on 4, then you're kind of like, okay, that was pretty lucky. You got out of it. You're in there by the skin of your teeth. Maybe you're having a good day, maybe you're not. But the fact that you went 1 for 1, that on an opportunity that you're still holding, I think that that's much more than luck. I think that you've analyzed it. We had Qualcomm on the watch list. You played a name with a catalyst. You analyzed it for everybody pre-market, and that's why Obi, is where he is. And we talked about that over and over again, man. I said to you, not only were you staying late analyzing things, but that's why you stay late to do these things, is so that you could say, hey, this is a pattern that I like. Next time I see it, it's all aboard. And that's why I'm telling you, you nailed it. And you know what? You know what's going to happen is that exactly what we just said. You got to get those negative thoughts out of there. Yeah. Because you can't think the next trade is going to do something different. You got to think about it as in, it's a setup that I like. Let's ride. So great trade there, Obi. Very, very happy for you and for everybody to be able to witness this kind of stuff as well live here on the show. All right, so Tesla there, 184.50. We're long at 183.85. So even though we just averaged into it, I will take something out here because our last average in on Tesla was at 15s. So if we can get something out kind of where we're stopping here around the 40s, we should probably do a little bit of that. And then Nvidia here is still at highs, and we've been taking it out. So we'll have a good day over here today. Our P&L's kind of, I liked it to be a little bit higher, but we did, it's still a good day. We're up today, but we did get hit on Apple. So, you know, we can talk about our winners, but I do think it's obvious to also discuss your losers, because without that, then you won't be able to properly analyze you know, your ratios. So
yeah, no, I think again, thank you for that, Sean. I think assessing your losers is probably the number one priority. Yeah, you got to look at your winners too, and what you were doing, but the losers is what you learn the most from, right? So it's like, okay, what do you? I think one of the biggest things that I've learned in my trading journey is nobody really knows what the market is going to do with any sort of real confidence, but over time we can kind of figure out what not to do,
right?
And that can start to point the compass in a relatively in the relative right direction there. And so yeah, I'm still trying to get better with what not to do in my trading. Like for example, yesterday getting a little too anchored to the short bias there. At prices bidding up on relatively low volume. I think it was doing less than 0.8 RVol, and I was like, all right, well, I'm trying to short this, but maybe it was a bigger picture idea as all those prices sell off at the end of the day and coming into today as well. But I have no idea. That 214.44 holding as of right now on Apple. I am looking for a potential bid, and it seems like it might be here off of that 214. But I do want to stay a little cognizant of the overall trend on the day, which is to the downside. We did break up. So 2 15-minute candles red. But before that, we're going to pass it over to Dara.
Some mixed comments here coming through from Fed's Barkin, who began speaking at 10 a.m., saying that we are apparently on the backside of inflation, clearly on the backside of inflation. However, quote, it's hard to know how much signals to take from the inflation last year or this quarter or the last couple of weeks. So basically, Fed's Barkin saying that lots of mixed inflation signals coming in the last fairly extended period of time, but it seems like we are on the backside of inflation currently. So mixed sentiment from Fed's Barkin, guys.
Okay, yeah, like honestly, these Fed people, this Fed speak needs to really start to speak a little bit more clear. Like mixed signals? Yeah, actually, I am fed up. Yeah, you're right, Fabian. I am fed up with the Fed. No, but I mean, just honestly, it's just like mixed signals, inflation data, this and that. Jerome Powell already said he had the CPI data before they made that policy discussion there, and that they were looking at basically 1 to 0 rate hikes, rate cuts, sorry, this year, and then the market pricing in 2 or 3. So the market doesn't believe the Fed as it is, so I don't know really, you know, where we're going with all of that, but at the end of the day, man, we just trade what's in front of us. So we'll wait. The market trying to figure itself out right now. I mean, regardless of what was happening there, we are still flat on the day, both in the ES and on the NASDAQ, relatively flat. I mean, this is what the ES looks like. Here's the open. So I guess we're up on the ES more significantly than the NASDAQ, with the open being right here. Pretty much a dead flat day so far, but that doesn't mean that for stocks. And you brought to my attention, which is a little sore subject here, because Apple, no, I'm just joking around about it, but Apple right now, right back up to the point where we could have lost absolutely nothing on this name. And as Apple continues to go up, Tesla falling back in a little bit here. So we will try to get some more shares of Tesla. I think even right here, we can start to just nibble in. But the bigger trade, if we're going to be wrong, is a breakthrough 183. So we want to get a few more shares closer to that 183 level. So we'll figure that all out, and we'll get over to that, you know, when we get a chance. And right now, Obi and I just dealing with the shares that we do have coming back in. FSRN, just quickly, and I'll throw it back to you, Obi. Just Fisker here, 72 million shares. We are unable to trade this. Anything under $1 here at Real Trading is blocked for us, and anything that does less than 50,000 shares on average per day is also blocked. This is 80 million, so it's the $1 thing that's affected, because we just can't get stuck long, you know, and the next thing you know, this thing is zero, and nothing you can do about it. So anyways, Obi, that's what we're doing. We did average back into Tesla right here, and we still are in Nvidia, but we've been getting out as that continues to highs. NVIDIA's up 2%, Obi.
NVIDIA's
It's very similar to that Qualcomm.
Yeah, I'm watching that NVIDIA. It is very, very strong. And some other tech names, some semiconductors that are very, very strong on the day. TSM pushing for its high of days right here. So let me just pull up the charts as I'm talking about them. Take a look at TSM. Oh boy, is this one worthy of a long.
Again, eh?
179 to 184 on the day there on TSM. SMCI as well, blasting to the upside. 927.74 is the high. Prior day highs right here as well. So if let's see if we kind of continue. The NQs bidding right back up. So we got an acceleration through that 2020, that 2200 there on the NQs, and then the ES as well, kind of bidding right back up, holding some of this consolidation from the morning session on the ES as well. So let's see what we got in store. A lot of these names very strong. And again, something else I'm watching is SMH. SMH also pushing for. I'm pretty sure these are all-time highs on SMH, and it is continuing to push. So maybe a little bit of a better vehicle there if I'm looking to push long into something there, as it is again a little bit more I guess stable, a little bit more liquid, a little less volatile as well. But yeah, no, SMH very, very strong. I don't necessarily. I should probably know the constituents of SMH. But,
NVIDIA.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure there's some NVIDIA in there for sure.
No, it is. It's NVIDIA, TSM. I think are the top two, and then you can look it up. Yeah, why don't you take a quick look, and we'll tell the viewers what exactly that is. And meanwhile, we are now in basically our second iteration of the dollar club for Nvidia, because there it goes, breaking through our sticky note posted level of 132.50. So as Obi was mentioning, one good trade. I feel like this is one good trade right here as it continues its move higher for NVDA. So there it goes, man. I mean, we had one good trade down here at 131, and then we added to the trade, breaking through 132.50. And again, you can find all these ideas, and the sticky notes have been really hot, and it's been really helping me. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day right now. Despite getting smoked on Apple there. Oh, thanks, Henry Chung. He retweeted this. Thank you, Henry, for doing that. But here we go, man. NVIDIA long, Tesla long. We're both in those plays. They've both been great. Let's go have a quick look at GME because that's also on here at $23. We haven't actually looked at GME today too much. We looked at it right off the jump. Ooh.
Okay.
Damn, you're supposed to say. You don't know that?
No,
Yeah, that's all good. All right, 23.50, 23.60 right here coming into play. So we were at, I'm just looking at my bid right now, it's 23.25. So I was sitting down there for that. We'll see if it can come back in for GME right now. Kind of just barcoding, which is fine. I mean, you know, again, without kind of a catalyst here, we all know what's happening with GameStop. Let's wait to see wow. Nvidia is really skyrocketing the net over here. You know what happens with Nvidia? You sell shares, and then I said this the other day, and then immediately you're like, what have I just done? How do I get back in? And I feel like that's maybe what's happening right here with some people that have been selling off said shares, because Nvidia continues to rock higher. And I don't, again, like, where is this even coming from? Every single day, Nvidia gets that bump. And I want to say shout out to Donnie Zimbabwe, who tweeted at us, or sorry, super chatted $10. It was asking about the Qs and the constituents. Well, how does that look today? I mean, yesterday we talked about 131 for Nvidia holding. Now today it's 134. Looks like it wants to go higher. The only one that's a little bit of a bothersome today would be Apple, but the NASDAQ still holding well against Apple weakness. So we'll look to fade Apple, but honestly, man, here comes Tesla. Look, we just rebought that one. You can see where we're long again. We're 40 cents in the money. Let's take a piece out again, as we can't seem to get past this level. So we've just been getting a bunch out here at 184.40. Did we just get filled again? No, we're still at 40s. We'll see if we can get that. And then after that, we'll look for VWAP, and then we'll look higher on Tesla. And we are still trying to bottom pick a little bit. But does this market feel weak to you?
Not really. It's kind of like consolidating sideways. I don't know.
I don't know either.
What do I know? But I did find out some of the constituents of SMH, so we can quickly go through those there. So here we go. Nvidia,
yeah, the top two.
Yeah, Nvidia coming in at 23.3%. TSM coming in at number 2, 12%. So a significant difference between those. AVGO, Qualcomm, hello. TXN, interesting. ASML, Micron is up there as well today on the board. And then AMAD, LRCX, and ADI. Some of the top, what is this, 6... 9, 10, so the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I should just read that instead of counting. Top 10 holdings right there, holding about 70, almost 74%, just above 74% of total assets in the SMH Semiconductor ETF there. And yeah, 100% tech, of course. But yeah, Nvidia, TSM, and AVGO. I know AVGO has been pushing quite aggressively over the past few days. Someone in the chat was mentioning Dell 150. So 150 on Dell did come in, popped about 40 pennies, and then pulled right back into that 150. So Dell is quite strong as well on the day as of right now. But AVGO, I know that one's been pushing all-time highs there over the past few days, and nice little pullback as of right now. But you can take a look at SMH. That pullback on AVGO has not really affected this name. This is what I'm talking about here. The fact that Nvidia is super strong, again, coming in at about 24% of the weighted constituents there. I'm pretty sure that's one of the main things that's holding this up. Obviously, Qualcomm as well, and then Micron as well. So a few of the top constituents in the SMH holding it up into all-time highs as of right now. Micron still hasn't really pulled back that significantly, and is holding those highs. That pre-market high at that 153, pushing almost above 3 points there, trading up to 156.70 day high on Micron. So definitely an interesting look there. Very strong tickers off of the open. Let's see what we do. But yeah, I have no idea what the market is going to do, but we are kind of chopping and churning in and around some of these levels. That 2,200 on 20,200 on the NQ seems like an interesting price as we keep on kind of holding, chopping and churning in and around those prices. Softy potentially going sideways as of right now. Apple holding that 214.44 as of right now. That 215 definitely a little interesting on the day. Amazon, oh boy, did that come right back up? I was not watching that one. Amazon all the way back, all the way up. Retracing all of that move, V-shaped recovery, pushing for day highs there on Amazon. 184 is coming in, so 185 was prior day highs there on Amazon, and it is attempting to push right back up towards some of those levels as Qualcomm is coming right back in here into some of these opening range prices here. So maybe that's all she wrote on that one, but we shall see. The NQs and the ES kind of pulling right back in. So like I said, that 20,200, very, very interesting as we keep on chopping and churning in and around that level. We accelerated through it. Now we kind of broke back down and we kind of accelerate back down through it. So let's see if we do a little bit of an orbit. What's going on?
Oh man, I don't know if GameStop just got the upgrade or what, but there goes GameStop. Ooh. Congratulations, anybody that was buying those dips. I mean, we had talked about wanting to get into those dips, and we had just missed it by 30 cents. We sort of went over that. A little silly of me to do that. I mean, normally we're waiting in and around 50s. If I like that level a little bit better, we could have been into this one, but here goes GameStop a little bit up to 25, so 25.50 top, 25.30 top wick right there. So watch out for GameStop. Volume obviously starting to pick up now in GME. All right, wow, thank you, Randy, for that rate on target with that coffee. I've sort of gone red today now in the market, not net-wise, but just thinking that the market's gonna start to head to the downside. We've been buying Tesla. We had great trades on Tesla. It's actually gonna be my number 2 stock, but right here, it's falling back in as Tesla right now trying to break back through 183. But it's been a good move there. We had a good move yesterday, Randy. I had heard that, I don't know if it was their long-range Model 3 or whatever, but there's a new EV credit of $7,500 or something in the United States. Yeah, I saw, I'm gonna have to look that up, or at least a rumor of it or something like that, and that their car, the price would come in at that level to qualify. So anyways, it's still down 2%, but right now Tesla's still going to the downside, but I like the long here off of 183. So we'll wait to see if it can hold, but so far so good. How's your day going? Weather outside?
Sunny now.
Sunny now, all right.
All right.
Did you ever watch that show, Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Or yeah, that's the one, yeah, you keep talking about that, Fabian, and that's the one that, you seen it, you guys? No? Okay, so we'll pass on that, because I haven't seen it either, so, but that, is it on Crave or HBO? Is it an HBO show? It's a Disney show.
Okay.
Oh, well, good. Thankfully, we have Disney Plus. Like, that scene came in, oh, renew for $139. I'm like, no, and my wife's like, yes. All right, we'll talk about all this. Barking still yappy, so we'll figure this out when we get back from Madeira at the green screen.
IWM just barely crossed here into positive territory, basically flat on the day, hanging out just above this $200 level right now. Nice recovery yesterday, pushing back into 200. So right now, just chopping and turning around that level still. We have quite a few small cap movers today, including Reliance Global. This is a penny stock here, up over 300%. Announcing that they've acquired Spetner Associates, with this acquisition expected to close in the second half of 2024. So great look for RELI here. We also have Comtech, mentioned this one earlier as well, CMTL. This one trying to make a bit of a bounce here, up about 80%. Announcing a new $220 million credit facility, given that the company's market cap is around $61 million. Nice look here for CMTL. We also have, last but not least, CHGG Chegg. This one drifting a little lower here, but still on watch, up about 14%, announcing a restructuring plan, which includes laying off about 23% of its workforce. So, okay, look here still for CHGG on the NY. Quite a few names running around here, guys.
So I just want to say to Chef Joe before we move on, thank you. First of all, thank you, Donnie Zimbabwe. I mean, I really appreciate that. He took the advice there, sold the Q's call, and now is just laughing. So, I mean, again, we'll give some advice here. It's not financial advice. Anybody stretching the imagination, we're not certified to do that. But if you're going to ask me for trade advice, I can give that to you for sure. And I thought that was maybe a little bit overdone on the Qs, and we did talk about it. So any decision you guys make, congratulations either way. Me and Obi will often, go long, go short, switch up our minds all the time. So we are day traders, and a great call there by Donnie Zimbabwe. And then Chef Joe does. I don't know if this, I can't believe I might have got one up on Randy here. How did he not know about this? The Model 3 long range now qualifies for the $7,500 rebate. Like, that's a huge rebate.
Yeah.
So if you're already, and I think it's coming in now at $39.9 hot, something like that. So, that's a real good price. Obviously here in Canada, our dollar is 35% depreciated against the US dollar. So probably 50 and change here for the long range Model 3. That sounds good to me. But anyways, Tesla, regardless of what the stock is doing, we have to trade it. And right now, it's coming back in just a little bit. This is where we're long. We did not buy the 50s. I should have. So let me put a little bit of a bid down there now that we've held a couple times. I'm still waiting to put more on in the 30s. Hopefully that will come in. And then we'll use 183 as the bottom. And if we have to stop out, we have to stop out. We will not even go close to going red on this. We're playing with, so far capital from the market. So good to go on there. Well, we won't give back what we've made on Tesla, but we are still looking for that. Apple's still dancing around. And if there's any other names that anybody wants us to go over, Obi is still in Qualcomm. So Coinbase does come up to that 240 and change. Bitcoin not doing anything right now, 65. Ethereum 34, that's not the greatest, obviously, for those of you that hold Ethereum, such as myself and as all of us, because we've seen 38, 39 recently. So a nice little pullback there. And then obviously Bitcoin, we were hovering around 70, 71 for a minute. Wow, you sounded like you just aged like 40 years there, Fabian. That was a little, what's up with Adara?
Just be aware of Dollar Tree here, guys. Not a lot of volume, but this one pushing a little bit lower. The FDA apparently saying that they issued a warning letter to Dollar Tree for its stores apparently continuing to carry an apple cinnamon puree pouch that has been, quote, adulterated. So I guess some concerns here with this apple cinnamon fruit puree pouch carried by Dollar Tree. DLTR dripping a little bit lower here. FDA warning, guys.
Wow, that's crazy, because my wife just messaged me and she said, please go to Dollar Tree and get apple cinnamon puree or whatever that was. And now I guess I don't have to get that now. So thanks, Adara. That was a good one there.
Back to that Tesla. Yeah. I think they have been having some good deals, because I know my sister just recently got one. She lives in Chicago, so they got a Model Y.
It's cheap, right?
Just a couple. Yeah, it's like what when they first came out, they were like 80, 90 grand.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think she got a pretty decent deal on one from Tesla. They're about coming in at like.
Was it used
50,
or
60.
was it brand new?
No, it was new.
Right off the lot. Okay.
Yeah. It's coming in like after some rebates and some deals. It came up to like 50 something. Which is absolutely.
And that one is a 5-seater, or is that the one you could have the optional 7 in the back?
It's I think they got a 2-door 5-seater.
Okay, yeah. I like that car. Yeah. Chef Joe's a big fan of. I
like the Model Y.
Tesla
it's not bad,
in there. Yeah. So I really thought software as a service for Tesla was going to be important once they made the full self-drive a monthly subscription.
Okay.
So I think that's a really good sort of tailwind for them, because the market values subscription-based, quite nice service revenues. So Tesla again. I think Tesla's fine. We just got another piece out, so we'll go bang for that. But we'll now wait to see. I wish we still have a piece. There's no doubt about that. We still have a decent piece, but I don't know, man. I'm losing a little bit of patience with this. So, all right, we'll just continue to watch it right now, Tesla and the stock. So hopefully we get higher. We are going to reload this at 50 because we just got out there, so we can actually reload it now and not worry too much about, sort of that. So we'll wait for that. Tesla's still trying to go higher. Is it a dark pool wick? 195? 195, date June 10th. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that did, if for Mr. Westermeyer, I mean, I didn't see 195 NVIDIA. I mean,
we were talking about that 200. You definitely won on that one. That
Oh, me? Well, no, I actually kind of switched over with you. I thought Tesla had a chance there that one time when it was going, and then I thought that if WWDC was a non-event, which clearly was not.
Definitely was an event.
then we could have got. So basically, Apple had the tale of two choices there, right? I mean, it either delivered. And it did with Apple AI. I mean, it gave people what they wanted. It gave people the idea that it was only going to be attached to the refresh cycle, so you need to get the 15 Pro or the 16. I thought that was pretty wild of them to do that.
Very Apple.
Yeah, and then again, just with no negativity coming from it, I found. I feel like if they jack up the price, like we haven't heard the pricing of the 16, or maybe we have. I feel like if that is way up there, then maybe that could turn some people off. I don't believe any numbers ever that come out of China, so if we hear that iPhone is not selling well in China, I'm buying that day. And then after that, though, I just don't see anything yet. The only thing that I was nervous about was their PE for Apple. So I thought it was around 30, 31 right now. I'll double check that, but that's where I thought we were lying. So that was a little bit worrisome to me because historically that has not been the case for Apple. So let me just check out their PE here. If I can ever find it, it'll be in here somewhere. There it is right there. Yeah, so there it is right there. See, 29 right now. Historically, I don't know what their historical PE is, but it's not 29. So that would be a little bit overvalued right now for Apple. But hey, you pay for growth and you pay to be in the name. And Apple should have a premium on it. They have a 110 billion share buyback program. Yeah. So dollars, not shares, buyback program. So you'll see that hitting the name over and over again. And on any rebalancing, I feel like Apple will just buy back their own shares and say thank you for rebalancing us. But anyways, Nvidia almost dips back into the 50 period. I think that's a buy down there at 132.50.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting there that all that strength comes in off the WWDC event, and yeah, Apple Intelligence definitely being an interesting part of that whole spiel. It should be interesting to going forward. People are talking about, like, there's a lot of hype about, like, is this going to be the new super cycle since they're kind of restricting this new technology to only their new products. But yeah, it should be interesting going forward. Apple has definitely caught a very strong bid coming off of that. It was interesting. What, Monday was the event? Monday does nothing in terms of price action. A little bit of a sell the news event. And then Tuesday, it really comes in, breaking past some of those reference prices off the event and really blasting off and then consolidating for 2 days. And then we got another leg up yesterday, or which might be just the beginning of another leg up. But yeah, if you kind of compress that chart, maybe potentially looking like a little bit of a 3-bar where you have a leg for 2 days, consolidate for 2 days, and then maybe a little bit more continuation there. But as of right now, we are pulling back off of some of those levels. So I'm going to stay patient. We are sideways on top of this 215 as of right now. So I'm going to stay a little bit more patient there. And Q, again, we talk about this level being a little interesting, and we keep on chopping and churning in and around here. Qualcomm still going still going sideways on Qualcomm as of right now. This VWAP very interesting. That 228 was a nice little level right off of the open, and we've held that as of right now. But yeah, I'm just kind of patiently waiting to see whether or not this trade will come into fruition. The ATR on Qualcomm is just above. I think I was just looking at the ATR on Apple is about 4 points as of right now, and we did that already. And Qualcomm right here, checking on the Viz, is 6.15 on the Qualcomm. So we haven't necessarily done anywhere near one ATR off of the open. Of course, we've done it off of prior day's close for sure. But yeah, no, just looking for that off of that potential opening price. But that 215, I'm going to be watching that one. But for now, we're going to pass it back to Dara.
Yeah, time to look at some crypto stories today, including this story. It actually came out a little bit at midday yesterday, but the SEC's crypto enforcer, David Hirsch, apparently leaving his position. He's worked at the SEC for 9 years, this is according to his LinkedIn page. Why this is interesting is because David Hirsch was actually responsible for leading the charge against these DeFi, decentralized finance, and cryptocurrency exchanges. So we'll have to see how the SEC's crypto front continues with David Hirsch now stepping down. This could be an interesting look here for the SEC and its ongoing snafus with regards to the world of crypto. We have Bitcoin as well pushing below, at one point touching below these more than 1 month lows for BTC, continuing on its downward trend here, making a pretty big move down, touching 64,000. Right now they're recovering by about 1,000 points here, up around that 65,000 level. Ethereum also touching apparently near 1 month lows, just above that 3,400 level, down almost 3%. And the general theme for crypto today is going to be weakness across the board. Shiba Inu and Dogecoin down about 10% each. Ripple down about 5%. Cardano down about 7%. Solana down about 4%. BNB and faring slightly better here, down just about 3%. But generally, weakness across the board, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Adara, for that one. Yeah, crypto's a funny one today. We talked about it breaking through that level there. We wanted to look at Coinbase, and Coinbase has actually held out pretty good today as crypto actually is coming to bounce back. So I'm not going to short the 242. We did have 242 written down there, but I feel like right now we're trying to hold that 65, so it might even be a breakout long, and it was just one of the levels here that I just kind of saw this dark pool at 8 o'clock and wasn't really certain about what was going on. So I thought $2 higher into the closing yesterday of $2 could give us about a 1-to-1. But I don't, with what crypto's doing right now, I'm going to try to maybe pass a little bit on that one. We did get that Tesla fill at 56 or what was it, 60s actually. So now we'll wait to see if Tesla wants to go back up to the upside here. I'm waiting at O's again, so 184. So if we could just take it, and I just want everybody to note, like, okay, you know what, just went to 90, I'll take it out here. You could trade the way you're gonna trade, but like I just bought it and we just took right there again, Obi, another 40 cents.
Another one.
Yeah, sorry, another 35 cents. Yeah, you want the DJ call it? All right. Let's do that one if I can find it. Here it is right here, another one. So that's another one on Tesla. So just scalping it out here. If it blows up, we still have big position on. We just got out of 10% there. We'll see if it can go, not a big position, but we'll see if it can go back there to the upside. So we did see a super chat there, Obi. What do you want to talk about?
Sure. So shout out to D. Westermeyer for the super chat saying, can you look at the Nvidia daily? My TOS is off, LOL. Okay, no worries. All right, so daily on the Nvidia right here. So you can see how strong we have been, especially post earnings. So volume on the daily, relatively stable. You have incremental spikes, but post earnings we have been kind of fading off in terms of volume. We also had the 10-to-1 split on was it last Monday, June 10th. But you can see a little bit of a gap off of the earnings report, and then you kind of you pull back in. The pullback a little distinct there as it pulls right back into that anchored VWAP that's anchored to the earnings volume, and then that bid kind of catches right back on for a continued push. And I drew this in earlier this morning, a little bit of a trend kind of holding off of that anchored as well in some of these prior lows, and we continue to make higher highs and higher lows on the Nvidia. So yeah, you take a look at the daily here. These are all-time highs, kind of a triple top-ish, 133.73s. But I think this candle was quite bullish there. And then coming in the next day, we did break through that 130 after churning a significant amount of volume at that 129. And then we've kind of held those levels, and we're building up into some of these highs here on Nvidia on the daily here. But again, something to note is that post-earnings volume has been kind of dwindling down. It is something definitely to behold here with the strength in the AI sector, and Nvidia definitely leading the way. We were talking about this for a few times here. During a gold rush, they're the ones selling the shovels. So definitely want to be in that business while everybody kind of scurries to the whole AI hype and tries to do really good at it. The funny thing was it. I think it was Tim Cook saying that on Apple Intelligence. He was like, "Yeah, we don't necessarily want to be the first to the latest technology, but we do want to be the best." At it. So let's see what Apple does with Apple Intelligence. But I think what was funny, that counter from Elon being like, okay, if you're going to integrate AI into your OS,
Right,
no more phones in our facilities, because you can imagine what can potentially be done if with that information in hand, right? And especially with AI doing most of the grunt work. When it comes to I guess a lot of different things these days. I know a lot of
he was
friends
worried
are
about
using
security, wasn't
yeah,
he?
security reasons, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like it's definitely a very valid point there. But again, I feel like these changes may need to happen as AI becomes more and more integrated into our environment, right? Into the tech.
No, I agree. I
environment.
mean, I thought that was a little bit of a dramatic stance there, but I mean, I could, I'm sure there's a way to justify that and not just like hating on Apple and stuff like that, because I know he was developing Grok and he's just put all that money into XAI. So I just wonder if there was a little bit of pushback there because of his sort of affiliation with OpenAI and that they chose them and Sam Altman and all that kind of stuff. So we'll wait for that story to continue to develop, obviously, as we have no choice but to wait. So we'll see what happens there with Tesla and Apple. I can just imagine, like, because of Silicon Valley and Tesla being down there and Apple and all that stuff, like, it's like, I'm sure most of the employees probably are loaded up with Apple products. So we'll see how that goes for him. But look what just happened right here. Spin it one more time. We said we were buying Tesla at the bottom of 183.30. So there we go. We put it on, we got it back in there, and we just took some more out. So we're long at 183.40. We just took some out in the 60s there. Good average in for Tesla. I would not going to get any more out now until we get back up to O's, which is another 50 cents. And then our stop is literally breaking back down below 40 cents. So if we break 40 cents lower than where we're at on our position, 183.40, then we'll get out. A break of 183, and I feel like that's enough. We were only thought that, I mean, we like Tesla, and you just sort of talked a little bit about AI and Nvidia and all that, but I thought Tesla was going to be a good buy down here at 184. Down 2% in a market that's flat, feel like this is a good buying opportunity. But at the same time, it shouldn't be down here. Like, down 2%, I don't really see a negative catalyst. So why is it down here? Okay, momentum in the name appears to be sell side. So let's just be careful. If we do break that last dollar there, I'm not holding it back into this level. So you could forget about it, and we'll get out of that one if we're able to. So that's sort of the call there on Tesla. Hopefully it bounces back up. All right, this is good enough for me. I didn't even realize we were going back up here. I'm going to cancel my 90s, take an 84 right there, ring the register. Now 50 cents in the money. The P&L started to go there a little bit. We got a little excited. Let's take an out here on Tesla and see if we can't continue to hold a little bit more back up to the upside. That's my last out now. We'll see if we can get VWAP here at 184.50. Only 40 minutes left, which reminds me that we just got something in the email, and it's this.
Okay.
All right, Randy, you're showing up at the right time today, Randy, because we're going to discuss what is for lunch. Are you a fan of salmon?
Yes.
Are you a fan of baby back ribs?
Yes.
Are you a fan of chicken wings?
Yes.
Are you a fan of linguine Alfredo?
Meh.
All right, well, fish tacos?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love fish tacos, but today we got...
Chican.
It's a little chicken dinner winner. We've had a couple of chicken dinner winners on the desk here today. And today, if you prefer grilled herbed breast of chicken.
Ooh.
Just reading what it
Breast
says.
of chicken. So not even chicken breast.
grilled. Can you say grilled herbed? Yes, probably. Chef Joe's in the chat. I'll verify this. Grilled herbed breast of chicken. This is strange. With a side of rigatoni primavera. Oh, pasta salad. Okay. So you get the pasta salad in there. I'd be a fan of that. That sounds like a decent...
Or brisket.
A decent... Yeah. And you said Mr. Achilles is not here today.
It's his problem.
I know it's his problem, but Captain Achilles, when he comes back in, he's
Brisket waits for nobody.
I agree. Oh man, I'm gonna have to deal with Neil when he comes back. But
he'd be over 2. Brisket 2, Neil nothing.
Then he'll start really getting offended. I don't need this guy to have some sort of a complex or anything about. I know.
It is
But anyways, how's the day going?
Good. So the update on the Tesla 3 long range. Yes. So again, on the website, it's still $42,995 USD. It does not yet qualify for the federal U.S. credit of $7,500. Now, this is the Highland refresh only.
Okay.
Not the older models. So we'll see whether they adjust the price on the website in the coming days. It's a good sales tactic. We'll see.
So it's probably just a report that's in there that is the potential for happening.
It's eligible to qualify if they reprice it under 40,000 US.
Huh. So that's the advantage that Tesla has, right? Because their margins are still present, right? Every other EV company does not have said margins, really so they can cut a couple grand off and hopefully still keep shareholders happy and sell more of said vehicle. So thank you, Randy, for that quick little update. And yeah, maybe I have to say brisket when Neil's not here. It's crazy.
I had a great brisket.
Oh, I can't anyways. We're filming the podcast. I should have told him that. All right, you had a great brisket?
Yeah.
Where?
My buddy's barbecue. So
that's the best one.
Yeah. So he was like, he cured it for like what? We cooked it for like over 10 hours or something.
Yeah, that's
it's like solid.
You have to.
It was like, yeah, very, very beautiful. I think
every
year he does the brisket barbecue around that time. So. Yeah.
Rob and Mark, I think, went to that brisket place, the sandwich shop just up north. Yeah, that's where Randy heard about it, then we went. So I think we'll have to do like a big crew run one day, because I know there's a lot of fans of brisket in and around here. So thanks, Rob, for the recommendation for that. That was really, really tasty. Okay, well, without any further ado, it's Adara, and quite frankly, I forget the segment, but it's at the green screen.
Sector watch.
We're going to be talking about some sectors today, and of course, as always, we have to talk about electronic technology here, but some of the players moving this thing to the upside have switched today. AMD, Apple, and Broadcom all week. Apple and Broadcom notably actually pushing this sector up in the last couple of days, so this is worth noting here. Nvidia, Qualcomm, and Micron all pushing higher to the upside, so more semiconductor strength. Qualcomm and Micron both have catalysts of their own as well, so nice look here. Bit more mixed here for technology, services, finance, health, technology, producer manufacturing here going to be a little bit stronger along with energy and minerals. But we do have to talk about some weakness in utilities. NextEra Energy leading this group to the downside, selling about $2 billion worth of equity sales. So interesting look there for NEE and some of this utility names here. A lot of these sectors are going to be a little bit weaker, but we do also have some strength in industrials and communications. Kind of a mixed bag here, but of course, technology sector always on watch, guys.
Man, damn you, Fed Barkin. Like, honestly. You want to talk about being frustrated? I mean, it's like, so I got out of half of my left Nvidia there because all of a sudden the market was like, whoop. And I was like, okay, we definitely rejected view up like every time so far. And then we went right back down to the lows. This is a great signal to hit the short for sure. But then it just bounced exactly again. Like, honestly, man, these guys are hilarious. So I would just wind up punching out of half of what I had left here because we broke through the 50 and I said, oh my God, if Nvidia, you know, one of the heated names here today, if the market loses it, I always fear that, and maybe this is the wrong way to think, but it's different when you're day trading. I feel like they want to sell the winners. So it's like, if you're up 2% today and the market falls in, I think people will be very happy with NVIDIA and sell that off. So right there, we did just get a fail in on, oh, we didn't get out of it all. Let's offer out of it all right there. So we are now out. We will fail. Positive name for us on Tesla. It's a good name. We're up 4 times more on NVIDIA than we are on Tesla. But Tesla just gave it up. We gave back a little bit. We gave back about 40%. I'm not sure, but about 40%, maybe a little bit less of what we were net up. So if we were up $100 on Tesla, we just gave up 40 of it on that move back down there by buying that last. But again, I feel good about the strategy because the last level we bought was 30s. So when it broke O's, we were able to get out immediately, and we actually got a good price, 97 on the breakdown. So happy with the price out. We did not get O's. We got a different area code. We got 97s right there. But for right now, Tesla looks like it wanted to break. And look, Obi, I feel good about this trade, again, because it broke and we did not say, where's the next level? We got out. We were disciplined with the out. We did that on Tesla yesterday. So actually what we were negative on Tesla yesterday is pretty much what we're up on Tesla today. So I feel like we did a little bit of the same thing, trying to buy support yesterday. We were trying to sell resistance. When they both broke, we got out. But fortunately enough for us, Tesla was good enough for the first hour and a half to put money in our pocket as there's the fall down. And I guess we did pretty good on NVIDIA. We have now, like, if we had 10% left, we now have 5. We told you we got out of half. So let's wait to see if NVIDIA comes back in. But for me, I'm thinking lower here, Obi. We started to break. We just got the 3rd rejection of VWAP, and we start to head lower. I'm a fan of the low prints coming.
Something interesting to note here, Sean, is as the market flushes for some fresh lows, Apple is holding that area at that 215.5. So I am kind of watching this Apple right here. So a little bit of a disconnect, maybe, perhaps. I don't know, from the limited information I am able to perceive here, but that 215 holding as of right now with higher lows, lower highs as well. So a little bit of a price compression happening into this 15s. So definitely interesting. Here we go, bouncing off of that 20,160 as of right now, coming right back in. Let's see what we do. Just a lot of chop. So I wouldn't be surprised if we rip right back up to 20,200 and do some more chop today. Again, we had a very strong day yesterday. Maybe we're poised for a bit of consolidation on the day today. But things that are selling off quite aggressively are softy, and I guess Alphabet as well too, but not really. It's kind of going sideways. Qualcomm going sideways. Nvidia is the strongest of the pack there, and in terms of tech names, SMCI holding near its highs. TSM also holding well within its upper quartile, and again SMH kind of singing to the same tune there, holding well within its highs. 276.96 is the high on SMH, and it's trading at 276 halves as of right now. So let's see what the futures have in store for us. Let us know what else you guys are trading. People are talking about Google in the chat. So Google, not a name I'm haven't really looked at, or not a name I have looked at too closely on the day. But yeah, like I said, it is holding. It's, I guess you want to call it your opening range, but yeah, kind of just chopping around the 76. Looking left here, we are making higher lows on the daily this week. So there was Friday, and then Monday yesterday, and then today, Tuesday, we are making incrementally higher lows. And then looking back a little bit further, going up to an hourly chart here, you can see how strong this ticker has been. Post earnings, we did pull back a little bit, but we've made incremental lower highs building up into this 180 on the goggle. Again, a little bit, maybe a little bit behind when compared to some of its other friends that are pushing their all-time highs, which seems like almost every day. Nvidia, I'm talking about. Apple, I'm talking about. But again, Google I feel like tends to be a little bit slower than the rest of the bunch there. People were also talking about DJT in the chat to take a little bit of a tangent there. DJT to the downside here on the day. So again, a little bit of a sell-off continuation that we've been having. We kind of did a dance with this 50 mark, a little bit of a shake and bake. That's what I'm looking for. A shake and bake off the 50, and we've been selling off. You like shake and bake?
Have you had that before?
I think I've had it like once or twice. It's not too bad. But yeah, that 50 selling off down into the 30s as of right now on DJT. And another one, again, GME still holding its pop to the upside. We broke back through 25. So prior day consolidation highs right at that 26 level on GME. But like I said this morning, I think the game has stopped a little bit. The volatility that we've been experiencing over the past a couple of weeks, not really there as much as of right now. And you know that Roaring Kitty did kind of cover some of it, or all of his calls that he had, switched some over to his to shares, holding about 9 million shares worth. So a nice little chunk of the overall float is held by Roaring Kitty. Again, I think he's one of the top 5 holders, right?
I think he's in the top 10.
Top 10, okay.
For shareholders. I'm not 100% sure, because again, it's all those options, right, all piled in there. Right. As individual shares, I'm not sure. Did I hear a call for Adara? Then let's do it for Money Talks with Adara with 10 minutes left.
Pretty much flat here for the DXY. Bit of a doji. We had some move went upwards into that 105.50 area, down just above 105, but right now, pretty much flat on the day here. We did have some economic data, retail sales and core retail sales on a month-over-month basis, both coming in lower than the estimates. Month-over-month for the month of May, 0.1% versus 0.3% estimated. Core sales month-over-month for May actually dropping here to the downside, so negative 0.1% versus the estimate of positive 0.2%. So definitely a little bit of action downside here for both these retail sales numbers. We've got a lot of Fed speak coming throughout the day, but our first Fed speaker right now is going to be Fed's Barkin coming through at 10 a.m. Comments including the idea that we are apparently at a restrictive level, according to Fed's Barkin, but that is a question as to whether this is sufficiently restrictive. Also saying that he did not feel any more confidence throughout Q1 as to where inflation is going to go as of right now, but we'll have to see how it goes. We do have some more Fed speakers coming through throughout the day. 11:40 we'll get Fed's Collins. 1 p.m. we'll get Fed's Logan and Fed's Kugler. At 1:20 we'll get Fed's Musalem. And then at 2 we'll get Fed's Goolsby. Throughout the midday hour, we have not one but 5 Fed speakers on watch as we head into tomorrow's market holiday, guys.
And then nice little recovery.
Yeah, we're just talking about Dell recovering today up huge. Micron,
strong.
am I muted? No, Micron continues to go. So the reason, it's funny that Sharif just mentioned Micron, and actually was going to go right over to that actually, because we are still at $1. We're $1 back in the money on Nvidia. It's funny because we got out at 133.06 there. It's at 133.30 now. So 30 cents on Barkin there. You owe me a beer, Barkin. You owe me probably a lot more than that, to be honest with you. But the Fed, I owe the Fed a lot of money because, I mean, the account keeps going up here as we continue not to believe the Fed and that there are going to be more rate cuts coming this year, or at least some rate cuts. All right, I've made notes for the last 3-4 years on stuff that I'm sitting here, I'm talking, and trying to figure this market out. And one note that I made was the 50-period moving average is something that I want to look at. And it's a trend idea, right? And I just, you know, when a name is trending up 6%, I said, we got to look at this. So then we went over to it, and just magically, like, there's the 50, there's the 50 again. So I feel like if you're still holding out hope that the long is here, this is probably a good level because Micron up 6%. It is trying to bounce off the highs, but it was doing that here again. Came back in, retraced for about 10 minutes, hit the 50. There's a retracement again, about 7 or 8 bars, 7 or 8 minutes. And now you're going to get roughly the same thing here coming back in. Now, it might be a little more aggressive, might just be 1 or 2, but as the stock goes up, the 50 period closes that gap a little bit. So now you're getting into an area where if you like this 156, this is at 156.30, so that's a level, and then you can punch out at 156, sort of that shelf rate there, giving yourself 30, 40 cents worth of risk into this market. But for me, again, this is if you're looking for strength. I am not looking for strength right now. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to look for a name, and I found one in Meta, and it's so crazy that you were talking, we had to throw to Adair, and I had Meta up, and then Randy came. I was going to short right here. Easy to say when it's already down $2 from that level, but it was just here 10 minutes ago, and I was going to do this, and I was going to use that exact example. A name that was weak, pulling back into the 50 period, and then down. So this is the trade that I'm now looking for, a 503 or so short, and I have it in right now. It's at 503.50, but now that might not come in. Listen. Fed's Barkin says the yield, okay, listen to this. So you want to hear something about this guy.
What is he saying?
Fed's yield curve could be an issue.
Huh.
Could be. Fed's Barkin says the yield curve could be an issue moving forward. Good job. Well, it could also be raining outside right now.
Insightful.
We could go look and see.
Yeah.
You know, this breasted herb grilled chicken could be good today. I feel like.
Breast of chicken.
Yeah, breast of chicken.
Whatever
Thank you for.
Means.
I think it probably means the same thing, but yeah, I mean breast of chicken. So
grilled herbs as well. Yeah.
Anyways, the Fed is, in all honesty, though, the Fed's job is not to talk obviously about the stock market. So they're supposed to analyze the data and talk about apparently what ifs in situations. So we'll wait for that one, and let's just continue to trust whatever the market tells us right now. Nasdaq's starting to head lower. We turned, for any of you that are scalping, I mean, we did turn this bear around, I don't know, 50, 60 handles ago. So far, so good to the short. We haven't taken any advantage of that at all, other than getting out of some of our Nvidia and not going into the short. So my job over the next 5 or 6 minutes will be to try to find an opportunity for that. Then we're throwing over to the midday, which I believe is still tape reading stuff. Oh, yeah, so still tape reading level 2, stuff like that. So time and sales as well this week at some point. Yeah, so lots of stuff involved with tape reading and looking more into the actual construction of data and how we can properly see trends and stuff like that by looking a little closer at the actual prints. So we'll do that on the midday, and then Brendo and I will get into the booth, turn my microphone up or down probably. Turn those headphones up. We're really proud of that new podcast room. It's really cool. If you haven't had an opportunity to check it out, man, check it out. We'll be hopefully recording our 4th episode today, and it should be a little bit of a fun one there as we go. Lots of fun topics to go. We've got our little note sheet ready, and good stories and examples and everything like that. Do I see you in another trade right now?
Perhaps. I'm a little late to this trade, but I did kind of size down and get a little involved there, break a trend on Dell. But yeah, nothing. Again, the trend kind of breaks a couple points above, and I wasn't necessarily there for it, but I did have it up, so I was watching it, and I'm like, all right, cool. Market is kind of pulling in as well, so I do want to get a little involved with the Dell trade here. So let's see if it kind of comes in as of right now. But again, trying to be more patient for things to set up here. I am kind of chasing technically on this trade. You can see the breakdown was through that 152. You can see a little bit of consolidation, and then selling gets aggressive through that 152. So yeah, I'm about more than 80 pennies away from where I really should be taking this trade here. But if it gives me a chance to add, I'll do just that. And if it doesn't, I have what I have, and the trade is the trade. So I'll stay a little bit patient with that one there. Qualcomm still holding that VWAP as of right now. I have no idea. It might take forever for it to kind of break through some of those highs there. Let's wait for a market bounce, or it could not do that as well, right? It could just not do that and then break all the way back down. So we'll be a little bit patient to see how that comes in as of right now. But yeah, let us know how your morning was. We only got about a couple minutes left. What have you guys been trading? What were you guys involved in? I know that a lot of people got involved with some of the runners on the day. Nvidia, Tesla. I know ARM has been running as well. Qualcomm has been a bit choppy, but definitely a nice little hold above certain levels that kind of showed themselves on the tape. Softy to the downside. Amazon.
Wow.
Oh boy, look at this one. This one's definitely swinging its price action here on Amazon, both to the upside and back to the downside here. We're talking about a V shape back up, and then it kind of comes right back in. This is about roughly a 2-point range here that Amazon has been doing. Chop with about a core of, what is this, 183 halves as of right now. So a nice little price action happening on the Amazon, as well as markets attempt to push for some fresh lows here. So let's see what we do with that 20,100 as the NQ comes in. But something interesting to note, once again, is that Apple is still holding that 215.5 area. So Apple is relatively strong compared to the market as the NQs pull back to the downside here. So something to note as well, that was yesterday's kind of hold when the market flushed down aggressively into the close. So we are getting some chop in and around that area. Where do we go from there? I have no idea, but I will stay patient to see if a trade shows up in and around that 215.5 level there, Sean.
I just wanted to show this in case people were wondering what exactly this podcast was. This Freedom Wealth podcast. Here it is right here. You can see it's a completely different look, than what you're getting here. A completely different discussion. And yeah, just looking for just great ideas, discussion points, comments. Keep your comments in the chat or in the comment section. It's been really fun. We have a lot of little fun clips here as well. And here we go. We're starting to get going. 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, 3 days ago. We're going to keep doing this every single week. So keep your comments going. It's been real fun to do it so far, and we'll see if we can get another one for you today. So that is the Freedom and Wealth podcast. Go check it out there. Scan that QR code. It'll take you right there. Me and Brendo will be on that today as well. So that should be fun. But it is 11 o'clock right now. I'm just going to hold the rest of this Nvidia, see what happens for the rest of the day. It's just a small piece, but I still like to hold on to that one. Tesla, as I just said, did make its move back up to 183, maybe a bottom there at 182.50 to look out for. And then it should be short Meta about 504, but we're not. As Meta just really taking it right now, I feel like. Watch out for 500, no more a key level than 500. Even $100 levels have been huge points of interest. All right, it's 11 o'clock. Thank you, Obi, for another good one there. We'll be back at 2 o'clock. Obi and myself will be here, but for right now, it's Sharif and Adara with Learn to Trade in your midday show. See you, everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. What is up, beautiful?